Company is Black Series Edition LLC with gunmetal, crystal edge technology screens, and our new FLE technology, or FLE-VT, which I am disclosing some of the information on. We call it future. Sorry about that. I got a lot of things on mind right now. I'm basically trying to figure out exactly what paint sprayers we're going to put in with these kits. But anyway, with the FLE-VT technology, I'm trying to figure out which ones. I was looking at them other ones, but I'm not sure because I was looking at the reviews for them, and they just look like they're really weak on the spray. They're really weak on the spray. It just doesn't look they're powerful enough. I really don't want to spend the money and basically get these sprayers in and they're trash because it really doesn't look like it gives off enough power. So I want to spend some more money to really get a really good sprayer in here because again, they look weak. I watched the reviews on them and they spray, they spit, and you can see the paint, like the water or whatever he had in the container, you can literally see it pour out in some sections where it was just a solid stream of like heavy paint. And I'm like, man, if that hits the screen, you will tear the screen up with that. You'll have a nice spray here and you have this thick glossy whatever crap will come out of it. So that's not going to work. So I'm looking at this other company right now and they're a little bit more, but it looks like I'd rather just go with them because then I have less people messing up the screen because it's a better sprayer. So we want to do free sprayers with this particular kit because again, this is going to be a, did I put my specification sheet in? I'm not sure if I put the specification sheet in. I'm pretty sure I did. I copied it. I don't know if I put it in or not. I don't know. I'll put it in a few minutes. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting ready to design a lot of my products I'm working on right now because, like I said, I got to be at locations this summer. I'm already booking these places already. I already went to Vistaprint. I went and got my t-shirts made. I got my freaking hats made. I got my bags made. Everything with the company's logo on it. I'm going to get business cards have to be made. I got 2 sets of business cards I'm working on right now. My first business card is metal. I got a metal tin metal what we call business card. It has a chip in it. So all I have to do is just basically just tap your cell phone and all our information just pops up in there. That's one of the ones I want to carry. And the other one is these plastic cards, the ones I had before. I want to carry those too. Brochures I have to get made. So, you know, online right now, we're still dealing with this nonsense with people at the end of the day, haters at the end of the day. That's what we deal with. But I already got plans already set up for on site. I got contracts coming in for our company. Right now, we got one we're talking with a lady that we're going to be doing some demonstrations on our technology over there on basically office settings because this technology is fantastic for office settings. It picks up in fully lit environments. It generates that contrast level. And this is going to be fantastic. We spray a couple of screens over there. We're going to have no problem with obtaining a contract for that whole entire building. So that's not going to be a problem right there. Now, like I said, seen a lot of sports bars around here. I want to do a lot of setups over there. We want to do inflatable screens. So we got somebody coming that's going to help us build the inflatable screen, customize, put the whole thing together. So I got a lot of things to do. So as you can see, we had to deal with the little bickers and complainers at the end of the day that are upset by what we're doing. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to basically try to design anything new. They just basically want to just take at the end of the day. That's all they want to do. And meanwhile, I'm sitting up here trying to figure out what paint sprayers we're going to give away for free and these kits because I don't want my customers to have to say, okay, it's a spray on application. I'm going to have to go out and spend the money for a paint sprayer. We're trying to do it so we can spend the money for the paint sprayer. So that's one less thing you got to worry about. That's the kind of stuff we do at the end of the day. I did this before. I gave away free paint sprayers before I gave away Wagner's. But this one time I went to cordless. Cordless, man, that's so much better than the cord. I mean, the cords are cheaper, but the cordless is much better because, again, you slap a battery in there and you ain't got no cords, cables, nothing around you trying to worry about where you're going to plug it in. You just charge it up and you're done. And then on top of that, consider the fact it's a gift that keeps on giving because at the end of the day, when you're done painting your screen, you can use it for other stuff that you want to use. You got a free paint sprayer. So I like doing stuff like that for my customers. Right now, I want to work on, like I said, future packages. I want packages that come with projectors. I want packages that come with popcorn machines, stuff like that we can have packaged with our setup, like a whole full movie setup. You got everything there for you. You got the popcorn machine, you got the freaking screen, you got the coating, you got everything. So that's the kind of stuff I'm thinking about right now. So like I said, You know, we're going to have haters. We're going to have people going to bicker everything we do, but this is what we're used to. We're used to this kind of thing. And we got to out these people. We have to. Because, again, these people have to be put in their place. They have to know at the end of the day that they just can't treat anybody the way they want to treat at the end of the day. So we're going to continue to put them in their place. But till then, I still have to concentrate on my company. Now, this new technology we have, FLE-R-S, which is a more, it's a superior because it's actually a paint-on application, spray-on application. I did put down, did I put down the specification sheets? I'm wondering. I didn't put them here. I know that for a fact. So I guess I'm going to have to go to my site and get the specifications. Actually, I designed the specification sheets when I was actually on YouTube. So I have to transfer them here. And I have to build me a fan page for it because this product is not going to be available on Crystal Edge site. It's not available on Black Series. The new website we're building, that's where you're going to find it right there. And this is where you're going to find the ad tech technology, the TV technology we're going to be working on for ultra short throw and long throw projectors or when you use it for it in the day. It's going to have that sun killer ability capabilities. So that's what's going to be on there. We got the gamer screens, which now I'm still debating on working with gamers right now. Like, okay, what would you guys like at the end of the day? You want a big 106-inch, or do you want the 40s? Do you want the 50s? I mean, what plays better for y'all? Do you want both? How do y'all want this? So we're asking and working with people on what they like. I got friends of mine that are really hardcore PC gamers. They want the 50 inches. They want the 40 inches. They want them in glass. That's what they want. So we get them in glass. We got to find a company where we can basically get a tempered glass shatterproof because we don't need these things breaking on impact. So it's a lot of stuff I got to go into to figure out exactly what is needed. I got a graphic designer coming on to design the storybook line for all our gaming screens. They all have their own little storyline to them. So she's going to design all the artwork that's going to go on the bobblehead dolls, the mouse pads, the hats, the jackets, the hoodies, all the stuff we want to do that involves the Sugar Plum Fairy, the Leviathan. It's like a lot of stuff we got to do. So, you know, that's what it comes down to. It's a lot of work. And then I got ad tech. That technology alone right there. I have to get a whole entire marketing team for that technology by itself because it involves companies. I need somebody to go in, sit down with these companies, be able to advertise their technology. So I have to hire people for all this stuff. This is why I'm so glad that when I was in the laundry room, I got all that paperwork completed because, man, if I didn't get that paperwork completed, man, that'd have been a freaking headache at the end of the day. So this is going to be a very high grade professional spray-on application. I told you when we start showing this stuff off, we're going to be taking basic bed sheets. I mean basic $7, $12 bed sheets and converting them into high-grade professional screens. And we're going to use them to basically do a side-by-side demonstration to more superior gunmetal technology screens. It's the only thing we can find, people. We can't find another black surface. And TVs, I guess put the TVs in there too, of course. But we can't find anything else. So we're just going to show you how we can take a bed sheet that costs 12 bucks, convert it into a black technology screen, and use it to be able to overpower a $5,000 projection screen. I got a forum site I'm going to be popping into. I've been talking to them about this technology. They said, look, when you do this, you've got to bring this in there because we've got to see this. So I already have Diamond under my table. I would like to get my hands on a Dragonfly. That's a very high-end good screen. I do have in storage, and I know I have one in storage, which I have a Dark Star 9. That's an very good screen. And Daylight Screen has a very good one. I don't pronounce it correctly, but they do have a good one. I do want that one. So there's 5 of them I want to have in my possession to be able to show off our technology next to that and using bed sheets while we do it. So, you know, this is important. The reason why we're choosing, I don't want anything black. I want a white bed sheet because I want to show you that the coating absorbs extremely quick, that it covers the surface, that you don't have to go back over a surface. Again, once you hit it, it coats to black. That's what we want. And this is going to be a super ultra black technology. I mean, we make some black dark stuff, but this is going to be really ultra black. See how black we can get it. See how the heightener reacts to it. If it's going to give us those high enough white levels, which are going to be desired, colors are going to have to pop. And then we'll do this on different caliber projectors. Of course, we're going to use some low lumen projectors and 50 lumen projectors. Matter of fact, there's a whole section in there for pico projectors. So there's a lot of stuff that we had to have in the specification sheets. And ultra short, though, it has to be ultra short though compatible. I use ultra short, so this is a must, a definite must. And on top of that, it's going to be fun to work with. It's not gonna be hard. It's gonna be like when we sprayed the screens out back. Yeah, you're gonna have a ball with it. It's gonna be like giant coloring with a giant coloring book, and you got a giant endless crown of paint. So it's gonna be fun to work with. So I'm gonna have a ball with this stuff on site. Everything we're doing here, we're gonna be doing it on site. I'm picking out the certain screens. I do like the screens that I saw on Amazon. Oh, those things are beautiful. 80 inches, fantastic. Folds up, throw it in a bag. We can take it anywhere we want and display it. That's fantastic. So a lot of work I have to do. Let me see. I'm on my my page, my website. This is my whatchamacallit page. So yeah, I expect the hatred. It comes with the territory. It doesn't. It comes with the territory. Not on that level. No, that should never come on that territory. This is where we got to get criminal charges involved in this and lawsuits. Come on, good gracious, man. You're gonna have basically little spats in here and there with other people. That's normal. That's what happens in business. But when it starts crossing that line, when you literally have to file charges on somebody, this is when you know you're dealing with trolls at the end of the day and not people that are very serious about the business at all, period. And I'm sorry I had to involve you guys into that. I do apologize, but you know, we just want to show you exactly what kind of crap we have to go through when we're showing off our products. That came up real nice. That's the cloth I have over there sitting next to me. That's the rag that we took outside and did the demonstration out in the snow. We're going to do a bigger screen than this. I'm actually going to be building a 150 inch and it's going to be a foldable screen. It's going to come with grommet so we can take the surface off we want, and the frame is going to completely fold up neatly into a corner. Let's see. Oh, that's the wait, what is underneath this page? Do we have two in here? Oh, we do have another page. I literally forgot to finish that one. See, this is what I'm talking about when I tell you I got so much stuff going on in my head right now. I literally forgot. I was trying to call and say, you know, it's a holiday, right? And I was like, man, I wouldn't even remember any of that because I'm too busy working. I really don't have that time. I literally have another screen in there. I'm literally designing two screens for the ladies. One's a unicorn and the other one is a sugar plum. And I guarantee I haven't started working on that. Gee whiz Louise, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I got to finish the show page for this. I'm still not done uploading videos. You know, our videos are not uploaded for the FLE. We got some, but we don't got all of them. Some of the stuff we're doing on site because I want a ton of those videos on site, so I got to do those too. And there's a lot of work I got to do. It's crazy about what I'm involved, what I myself involved in. And I'm sitting up there on camera telling me how bored I am. I got freaking work to do. What the freak am I doing? Like I'm literally, I got another page over here I'm supposed to be filling. I completely forgot about this. This is the sugar plum section right here. I got videos to do for all of these. Yeah, there it is right there. Ah, gee whiz Louise. I forgot literally about this. Literally forgot about this. Oh, okay. So I come in tomorrow. I'm dropping straight on the machine. It's work. It's work, work, work. We got to get this up and going. This is supposed to be another section for the ladies. They got two screens. There's a... Oh, yeah. What the freak? Yeah, I put all this in. All right. Well, I got work cut out for me for tomorrow. I got to get on here and get to work. This is the one. The ladies have two. So they got one called the FRE Black Series Edition Unicorn Whimsical Black. Yep. Two gamer screens for the ladies, including the Sugar Plum Fairy. Testing on the gamer screens are fun, and I'll tell you why. I get the game all day. I literally get paid just to game. So I put the game, set something up, and play it. I want to get some games. I need to advance my library on my PC too on top of that. And I got a couple female gamers that are going to be doing this. They're going to be basically advertising this for us. This is stuff we got set up for the summer. This right here is for the gentlemen. This is you guys at the end. And then I still got the gunmetal technology I have to design. I have the onyx gold screen we're going to be working on. That's going to be the design that it's going to be a beautiful screen right there. We got to get that done. It's Leviathan. See, wallpaper. That's what I'm trying to figure out exactly. See, my thing is this. I have 106-inch wallpaper over there. And when I game off that thing, it's still like trying to figure out exactly, even though I'm sitting back, I'm trying to figure out exactly. If I'm looking at a board and I got navigation up there, like if I got freaking like a compass telling me where to go, and I got information on this side over here and here, how much of that am I able to see? Am I able to see clearly on the screen? Because on PC, you can actually enlarge your text. I don't know about console system, I don't know how it goes with that, but I find myself getting up and walking over to the screen to see what's going on the other side of the screen, because I can't see it because the screen's so big. But when you have a 40-inch, it's easier. It's right there, all in your face. And that's what I kind of understand. You do a lot of PC gaming. Yeah, I do some PC gaming. There's a lot of stuff going on your screen, and it's kind of hard if you're trying to see what the heck they're talking about over here, or what they're trying to tell you over here, and then you got information popping over here, and you're like, what the freak? And you're like, yeah. So, yeah, basically, I might do the gamer screens in glass. Do them in glass, and do some of them in portables, and make them in a range of somewhere between, what they were asking for was 20s, 40s, and 50s. That's what they were requesting. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, mind you, these are front and rear, so it means you're going to have projectors behind it. So if you're using it for a cockpit, yeah, they're fantastic for front and rear. That's what we're going to be doing. So this is a 40 right now. Yeah, it's definitely. Because when I was gaming off there, I was playing Left 4 Dead. And like I said, screen's crystal clear. It comes up perfectly fine. I game on giant screens all the time. But this is just so complex. What the freak is on my screen? Oh, nothing. My screen is jet black, so I'm used to basically not seeing anything on it. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna have to go in and go and edit all this out, because we're gonna be changing our sizes. So I want some cool stuff to come with this. We're gonna have free merch. We're not charging for merch at all, period. It's gonna be free merch. It's gonna be like something like if you want a water bottle with the logo on it, or if you want like mouse pad or sunglasses, something like that. This is going to be our FLE Cosmic Sunflower Fusion Black. Just can't wait to start working on that. Thunder Shamrock. These screens are different colors, by the way. They're not all black, they're different colors. And this is right here. Or wait, that's all we have for this page? Oh no, this is all part of this page. Okay, I'm about to say we should have more than that. And this is going to be our FLE-R. This is our Sub-Zero Arctic Black. Oh, I can't wait to get this thing. I'm actually building a PC around this bad boy. I'm gonna icebox my system. All right, so that's all we need for that. That's good. That's good. So this is all I can do. I could actually design all this in a day. That's no problem. Spray on applications, which is going to be fantastic. I can knock these out in no time at all. Just have to keep cleaning out the unit for each one. That's all. All right, so I got research to do. I got to figure out what paint sprayer, like I said, because I didn't like the first one. The first one's, the other one I saw, it's nice. I've actually used the tools before, but I didn't like how when the guy squeezed on the trigger, it just didn't sound powerful to me. And then I saw that paint dripping down the side. I was like, oh no, because that's bad. That's extremely bad. Especially if you're laying the screen down and that pour comes out like that and hits your screen, that's going to mess your screen up. So that's not going to work. I need something with a little bit more power. So I'm pretty sure that the retail price for these things for me is probably going to cost me like, oh, actually, the retail price is going to cost me like 90 bucks. But if I go through and use my wholesale license and contact the company, as I usually do, and we agree on a bulk shipment, which means that I get so many per month that I'm gonna need from them, they give me a very good price. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I saw ones that were all black. You know, I got a thing for all black screens and stuff like that. So I saw these old black ones. These things are gonna be gorgeous. I want one for myself. So I'm gonna buy one of those, test it out, compare it next to the Wagner. It's definitely going to be a stain sprayer because you want something easy, I don't want something with a bunch of knobs on it, and customer gets confused which setting to use. We don't want that. We want something they can set up, put together, and they're done. Let me see. There is my other website on the Crystal Edge. This was a headache to put in. I never forget how much of a headache that was to put in. (2024) FLE technology. This is Imperial gunmetal technology, which is going to be here. So we already got this already set up. This is for the Imperial. And then we have the gold technology coming in also too. So my video demonstrations are going to be doing. So I got a lot of work. And in this section over here, we're going to be buying knockoff projectors and testing them. This is going to be trash projectors. This is where we're going to be buying these projectors and testing them to warn you not to go near these machines, because the machines are not going to work the way you think they are. They are going to be poor. We're going to be buying some more, a lot more. Unboxings, all that good stuff we're going to have. Oh, let me see. Special things, customer demos. Customer demos is waiting for the other new technology. We got customer demos on this page too. I do want to expand this page. I got a lot more room on this page. On this page is automatically almost. I got enough to put the unicorn in, probably much. Or I'll spend some more money to expand the page size because we're just about out of room. Let me see. Black shop right here. There's our new lineup of our new technology, all batch numbers attached to every single one of them. And for those you don't know, these are our black versus black tests. They're posted everywhere on the website. We back our products up. It's interesting, and I tell people, you're going to do this on site. You're always going to have that one person that's going to say, hey, I can do the same thing with black paint. You'd be surprised. Watch what happens. You got to be ready for it when it happens. This is going to expand too. I'm going to be expanding this because we got black versus black demonstrations on every single one of our products. Everything we design has to go through that. Even that Infinity 7, guess what? It goes through the same thing too. Have to back that up. Alright, let me see what shipping information, all that's done. And demo, all that right there. Monster screens, the big 250s. This is another project I'm working on. This is these monster giant screens. 1.5 smaller screen comes in at 180. Biggest screen comes in at 300 inches. These are already pre-coated and done. That's another project I'm working on. 1,000 lumen demonstrations. These are our demonstrations on 1,000 lumen projectors. That's why I say when people come to our site and they see all the work we put in, you don't see anybody doing this. I can go to different Goo Screen, Box, I can go to all these different places. They don't have no videos on anything at all whatsoever. That's one of the things I noticed when I was actually setting up my website. First setting my website up, and I was looking at other websites and seeing what they had, and had a ton of pictures up there. They had no videos whatsoever, no paint-on demonstrations, nothing, nothing at all. And I was like, okay, we got to do something different. I don't want to do that at the end of the day. We have the Alpha. Cinemax has its own showroom page because I said there's not enough room. We're still working on this page. This is why I got to remind myself when these idiots start carrying on and acting up. And they do this stuff, they're trolls. They do this stuff to try to distract me and keep me off center, keep me off balance. They try to do. That's why I'm glad that when I calm down and I get a chance to pray, the Lord resets me and puts me back where I need to be at. Because yeah, it does. When someone's calling you the N-word, that's a very disturbing word to be called. You know, it's a very disturbing word. It's a hurtful word to be called. And you gotta try to keep it together, because there are a lot of things I want to say out of my mouth. You know, when someone calls me that word at the end of the day, and you do want to smash someone's face in for saying that thing, say that word to. It's a very hurtful word to say to somebody. But this is the kind of hatred that this person generates. He generates nothing but hatred. And when the officer went to his website, he was like, wow. So his YouTube channel, he's like, wow, this guy has nothing but hatred for you. I said, yeah, he does. Jamie hates my guts. He can't stand me. Jamie would celebrate. If I died yesterday, he would celebrate that. He would. He is a very disturbed and hateful individual. And God sees him for what he is, and the devil knows what he is. So it's a shame that when I got to come on here, I try my hardest to try to keep focus on my products, to try to come on here and talk about just my products only. But you got people out there that are just constantly bitter and hatred. Everything that I do, they're mad over. Anything that I do, they're hating it over. It's just sad at the end of the day. But like I said, it'll work itself out. We'll go to court and we'll get it all taken care of. And that's what I'm happy about, that it will go to court. And I want to come on here and just talk about my products and work on the things that I'm working on. But unfortunately, we got to deal with these individuals right now. You know, I don't want to come on here and I don't want to talk about them. When I come on here, I don't want to discuss them. I want to talk about my products. I want to talk about things I'm building, things I'm putting together for my customers. But unfortunately, I got to deal with these jokers. So I'm happy that we're going to get them in court and I can finally get this before a judge and explain to them what I've been going through with these individuals. But nobody want to talk about all that. I don't even want to talk about it. To tell you honestly, I hate it. I just want to talk about the stuff that I'm working on. Got a lot of projects I'm working on. And when I look at this right now, I'm thinking to myself, you ain't got time to be entertaining this nonsense. You got work to do. And I do. I got a lot of work to do. Look at all these videos I got to put in here. I got a whole new website to build. You know how long it took me to put this thing together? A lot of work. I got to build me another one of these for the FLE technology. So in the process of building a whole new website and getting everything done, I got business cards, I got outfits to make, I got to hire people, I got any work areas to work at, I got to be on site and paying money to display the technology. It's a lot of freaking work on my plate. They don't want nothing. That's the problem. They don't want anything. I want something out of my company. That's why I work so hard to build it. And there's a lot of work I had to go to put all this together. All right, I'm gonna do the screens. I think I'm gonna do the gaming screens on the 40s. Oh, let me see. Everybody don't. I might as well, cause I know myself. And then I get some of it done now, cause you're gonna be regretting it tomorrow. Let me see. The 40s. Look at that. All that information I got to put in there. Tons and tons of information on every little thing. I'm taking people to court for fraud. So you have to back everything up. I literally have to do tons of work. If they had really busy, they really running the company at the end of the day, they wouldn't have any time. Really wouldn't have any time for all that nonsense. There's so much you have to do. You look at it, compare my website to theirs and the vast amount of information we have on our site. You wouldn't have time. I shoot 10 and 5 videos. I don't want to shoot videos about them because it takes up time. These are videos I could be using on videos that are important that I need for my site. That's what bothers me about that. When I got to sit there and I got to basically, I don't even know why. At this point right now, honestly, I'm just going to ignore all that nonsense. I'm ignoring it because it's already set. We're going to court. It's done. There's nothing else. And that's myself at the end of the day. That part of me where I got to defend. I've been fighting and defending my company for so long. Sometimes when I got some people say, man, you got to relax, man. You don't have to do this no more. You work so hard to get your company where it's at. You got to learn to relax. Your company can stand on its own. I'm still protecting my company, even though it has the ability to stand on its own. And like I said, for anyone to sit there and basically say, well, it doesn't, yeah, it does stand on its own. I mean, I challenge anyone to take me to court. I've challenged people to ship me down paint for an entire year. You got to have faith in your company to say that at the end of the day. You got to know your product to say that, make that statement at the end of the day. When you can tell the very same people who have slandered your product, from now on, you'll be my black paint supplier. And have no fear saying it. You have to know your product to do that. Have to know your product. My company stands on its own. Show me one demonstration of any of our technology failing on camera. We get people that will come in here when they see our new technology come up, just expecting for our technology to fail. The minute our technology does everything it's supposed to do, they get upset and bitter about it. Well, no. You're the same people that basically go to NASCAR races to watch somebody crash and burn. Literally, you're those kind of sick people at the end of the day. You do know there's a human being behind that vehicle, right? You get people out there saying, I hope they have a... Really? Seriously? Like, how about on the way home, you have a crash and burn? How much would you like that at the end of the day? And real people live behind those vehicles at the end of the day. Hope none of that happens. I literally heard a NASCAR guy talking about, there's always 1 or 2 people up there in the crowd just hoping that you crash into something so they can see something exciting. That's pretty bad. FLE, what is this right here? Oh, this is the Spartan. Yeah, I can't wait to launch this baby too. This is another screen. This is actually a physical screen. That's our Spartan. This thing comes with an actual Spartan helmet. Now, this technically was going to be designed to be a screen to wipe out other screens, but I thought at the end of the day, none of this would be taking it too far, because then it'd be a bully screen. It literally would be. If we're just going on people's sites and taking their stuff and crushing it, that'd be wrong. I wouldn't want anybody doing that to me. So we decided to turn it into a screen, like a limited edition, rare edition screen. Comes with a helmet, whole 9 yards and everything, stand, certification, all that good stuff. You see the artwork, the time we put in to make sure that our page is entertaining for our customers. People, man, that don't care, they just throw anything on their page. They really don't care. Gotta have an imagination for all this. All right, let me see. I'm getting back to the gamer screens. Let's see, these are 40s. These are 40s. 50-inch sheets of tempered glass. I've seen the 100s. The 100s, yeah, I'm not doing a 100-inch tempered glass. You know how expensive that thing was. To ship that thing would be a nightmare. But I'm gonna do the 50s. The 50s and 40s or whatever. We'll do the wallpaper that's special request. Ouch. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I do like gaming on this one. From the people I talk to a lot of gamers, and they're like, yeah, the portable screens are much better. That's what we're going to go with. Let me see. Wonder. Glass projection screens. That's ours. That's our baby right there. That's our TV technology on glass. It's recoded now for the new other technology, FLE, but that's the glass version of it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for the gaming. Let me see if I want to do large plastic casing. Projector visual tech. So. Did we copy this? Oh, we printed this out already. This is printed out already. All right. That's done. Right. I think I'm going to start on my fan page, get that done, get that assembled, and then basically set it up with no comments because I don't want no comments on the technology yet. And we'll start loading up some of our stuff there to get set up. I can use it as an information page to go back and forth between the other page and we get ready to set that up, get that ready to go. My domain name is already paid for. I haven't even got a chance to basically go in and basically launch the page yet. Domain name we purchased already ahead of time to get ready. All right, and then we got the ad tech. I got to contact them too because I haven't been in contact with them for a while. Let them know we're still alive and kicking and we're still interested in getting our ad tech in that section over there. So there's an aquarium fish store, big, huge, massive window. They got these decal sticker all over the glass. It's horrible. We're gonna donate a window to them so that way they can advertise for us our technology and turn that whole entire glass into a actual live fish tank. I was talking to the guy about him installing cameras into the fish tanks and he can broadcast it right through the projector and boom, hit it right onto the glass with that ad tech. And you can turn this entire glass into one big giant live fish tank. We love the idea. There's another woman not too far from where my storage unit. She's a clothing shop, and I was over there showing her some of the ad tech. She's interested, so I got a meeting with her. She wants to do a whole entire product line of her catalog right through glass. So you don't have to worry about showing the same thing over and over again, the same item. And right across from her is a nail salon, and they want the technology embedded in because they want to do their customers' hairstyles. They want their heads to move in the glass and show the menu and all that stuff. That's why I said that tech is going to be worth millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. I see right now, like all the interesting ideas that these store owners have, how they want to bring their product to glass to bring it to life. So people can see their technology or see whatever they're doing at the end of the day before they enter the store. Especially for people who have restaurants. And well, you can put your entire menu, everything right there on the glass. We got tons of them, tons of these little restaurants down here. So all we have to do is hit one building. That's it, just one, and we found it. And they're on board with it 100%. 100%. We get that building, everything else falls right behind it. And it's interesting because when I was talking to the owners, I seen the look in their eyes. I saw it when the guy was looked at. He said, "Wow, we do one. What do you want? What do you want? What section do you want?" I said, "We just need that section over there. It's a small section. Is all we need." And he was like, "Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. How about this? How about you advertise what we have here onto that, and you can rent there for free?" And I was like, "Oh shoot, yeah, that's fantastic right there. I'm gonna cost me a little more money every month to have a little spot there." And he said, "No, you can rent free, but it doesn't make a difference what we put in there. It's just the fact that he knows it's going to bring business." He said, "You put that there, everybody's gonna want that." And I said, "Yeah, everybody is gonna want it." He said, "Man, you got anybody you working with this?" I said, "Well, let me figure some things out first because I didn't want to say anything yet. I didn't know how I was going to work with this to begin with, and we'll come back to you." But now, at first, I said I didn't want to go big. I didn't want a big company. I do want a big company now. I got no choice anyway. I got to go that road anyway. I'm not going to be to keep this small. It's virtually impossible. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. Period. That tech alone is going to blow our company up. So it's not going to happen. So yeah. I'm going to sign a small contract with them. They do have, they're the main building down there. They do have a lot of power. They're anchor stores. So they have a lot of power down there. And they can get into places that we can't get into. Like I could never walk into, I was lucky to walk into this building and meet an owner. I was very, very lucky to walk in there and meet one of the owners. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time when I bumped into one of them and had the conversation with them. But the rest of like the PPL building, I would love to have our technology in the PPL building. They got their freaking, they do the concerts and shows and sports events on the other section. We like to be in there too. Definitely like to be in there, have our technology in there. So yeah, they got a lot of heavy pull. They've been there for a long time. They got a lot of heavy pull. So if they can get us in those areas, we can't get into. But they are going to want a percentage, which I don't mind a percentage of it. I really don't. A lot of work. But at least I'll be moving around. That's the one thing I liked about being on site. Always somewhere different. So that's what I'm going to do. Get around. Let me see. Fusion Light Energy. That's what FLE stands for. Well, we're good, we're protected. But that's what it stands for. Fusion Light Energy. That's why when people were sitting there taking at FLE, you didn't even know what it stood for. There's a meaning behind FLE technology. VT stands for Visual Tech. FLE-VT, Fusion Light Energy Visual Tech. That's what it is. Sometimes it's like a game of chess, I'll tell you at the end of the day. It really is. Sometimes I abbreviate things because I know people will copy what we do, but they don't even know what they even mean, what they even stand for. There's a deeper meaning behind everything that we do. It's kind of like throwing bits of gold off a table and watching people just run and grab them as fast as they can. That's what the trolls do. Anything we allow them to be able to see, they just run and grab as fast as they can. Don't even know what it means, what it stands for, nothing. And they try to mock something, they don't even know the first beginning of what it's all about. Don't even know. FLE, when I said it stands for something, it's an abbreviation for a name. I'm trying to figure out whether or not if I want to keep it or not. Because I may decide something. I might have a better name behind that. That's the thing about it. I'm in the development stage right now. I told you, I like the industry, but I'm trying to separate myself from the industry at the same time. Because I just don't like where it's going. I hate it. I don't like where it's going. It's cheap knockoff machines. It was different when you had little tiny ones, you know, they're little tiny ones you had. Now you got these machines that cost $3,100. They're almost expensive as the name brand projectors, and they give them poor contrast capabilities, and they give them gray screens to go with it. That's a horrible combination. I saw one for $1,800. $1,800 set, screen and projector. Both of them were garbage. White screen and this knockoff projector, poor contrast on a white screen. You saw a white screen look awful on a name brand. Wait till you see it on a knockoff, it's even worse. And I don't know how they letting it go past. I don't know how they're getting through all these different guidelines, but they do. And more customers I bump into buy these machines. We can't sell to them. We can't do business with them at all. If I designed technology for it, which I did, was a big mistake, I'm actually I'm encouraging them to make more of this junk, which I don't like. And then you got people at the end of the day that just refuse to test. They want to go with the old traditions. You know, back then you didn't have to do a lot of testing. You stuck a screen in a dark environment, hit it with a projector, and voila, you had an image. Today there's just so much testing involved. Unless you basically are just going to, I guess, limit your capabilities of just basically just being stuck in one place forever. I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to go in different places at the end of the day. And basically from having the experience online, people are going to question your stuff. So at the end of the day, like I said, that's why we wasted time to come over, expose these people for what they are. But when I come to your site to buy from you, you're wasting my time. I'm expecting to pull out my debit card, pay for my item, get my transaction number, get my product here, and test it. That's what I'm expecting to do. I'm not expecting to go through arguments and dumb nonsense where you can't back your products up and dumb shenanigans of moving states out of shopping carts. I mean, come on. Really? Seriously? If that's the point and you're doing that kind of stuff at the end of the day, don't sell screen paint. What are you going to do if you got another person like me in another state? Or it can be anybody testing your stuff at the end of the day. You got to remove every single state out of your shopping cart in fear? Can't back your stuff. I'm tired of after I seen what Danny did when Danny pulled that state out. I was like, gee whiz. I mean, that's a whole level of freaking shenanigans. It's a whole level of shenanigans. I've seen people. One already manipulated the shopping cart. We've seen that one already. There's nothing. I don't get past on the other one. But when you remove an entire state after talking all that trash, it just lets me know at the end of the day you're a troll. You're not serious about anything. None of your stuff should be taken seriously. None of your products should ever be taken seriously at all whatsoever. You're not serious about the business at all. So it should be to go to your site and just type in ambient light rejection, and it should be to pull up stuff like this. Should be that easy. You should have that much homework done. Excuse me for making my stand a little better in this direction. You should have that much homework done. That's all they got to do. They don't got to type in a product's name. They just put in ambient light rejection or AR. That's all they got to put in. And you should literally have demonstrations like that coming up on your YouTube channel. If you don't have videos like that pop up on your YouTube channel, you're not doing your work correctly. Tabletop displays, ceiling technology. technology where we take what? We'll say 200-watt lamps on each side. Demonstrations at 1,000 lumens for the environment. Look at this right here. This is what you should have on your page. That's why when I look at all the demonstrations I've done down through time, and I see these guys bickering and complaining about my technology now, I gotta learn to look at them as trolls. Don't even take them seriously. Don't engage them. Don't entertain them. We already got the other part taken care of. Take them to court. That's all done. But don't engage them, because again, they're trolls. Where are your demonstrations? That's why customers buy from us. That's why we make the money. They can go right into my channel. They can pull up anything they want. I've done my work. Y'all are nowhere near on that level. Gray screens, more ambient light rejection demonstrations. Look at this, walking through the place. I got people still bumping into my 12 technology, contacting me. And the new technology we have absorbs and eats sunlight. Man, we don't have any, how he said about how we're in the gain. No, we're not in the gain category. We're not. Show me a gain that absorbs sunlight. Give me one. We test again, 0.9. The highest screen I ever tested in the game is a 0.9. And we can beat it. Screen's not sitting on the floor. $60 ultra short throw projector, 150-inch screen, 180-inch to the ceiling. Yeah, see any more? I don't see y'all doing ceilings. Y'all don't do ceilings because you can't do ceilings. The screens will wash out. Let's go over to, let me see. I want to do ambient light projection. Let's do ceiling projection screens. Ceiling screens. All our technology on ceilings and floors and all that cool stuff on many ceilings. This is when we first started doing it. Gotta back it up. That's a cool display. I gotta figure out exactly where I got this display from. I've been trying to track this thing out. It makes the whole ceiling look like it's wrapped around. So when we got people contact and say, hey, Bird, or they don't call me Bird, but they say, hey, Mr. Bird, I'm going to do a ceiling display for an auditorium or whatever, so and so and so. Do you have any experience in the field? There you go. There's my videos right there. See all my projectors. Oh, that was the Panasonic. That was the Panasonic. See all my bad boys up here. I said, yeah, I don't own enough machines. The Casio laser projector. I gotta get me another laser projector, Casio. Definitely gotta get me another. That's a really good projector. 2600 lumens, bright as on the what. I gotta make sure you have your lamps on ultra short. Those Sony. That's my Sony ultra short throw right there. That was a 7,000 lumen projector. But when I found out how much a lamp was gonna cost me, I was like, nope, I'm not paying for that. And this is what reminds me, when I see those demonstrations where I see people at the end of the day, if you're basically reflecting light that's going to make contact with your screen, your stuff don't work. You should be able to do this with no problem. If you have real ambient light projection technology, you should be able to run that with no problem. Oh, I just thought about that. I could literally do that with no problem whatsoever. It's styrofoam, it's lightweight, it has no weight to its insulation. Ooh, that would be hot. That definitely would work. I'm definitely going to use that Infinity 7 for it. So basically, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get maybe about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to get 6 panels at 4 feet by 8 feet. Put that heavy styrofoam, not styrofoam, Velcro on it, and I'm going to coat it. I'm going to make my own portable ceiling. That's definitely what I'm going to build. So I can just tile the ceiling in with it, snap it together, put it in, and basically just display right off of it. That would be sick. Definitely going to build me. I want to build me a portable infinity ceiling. That's what I'm gonna have. Because we do it with the floors all the time. These floor mats, we coat that stuff. Oh, we're gonna definitely coat the floor mats with it. We can portable floor. Take it anywhere we want. Take the projector, set it down, be done. That projector costs $60. The stand was like $80 for it to set the whole thing up. We take a whole floor in there, stack it up, put it inside of a bag, drop it to the floor, set up the projector, boom, we can display right up the floor. So if I'm going to be in these environments, I want to do a portable ceiling display, and I do want to do a floor display. Definitely want to do that. So I'm paying the money to be in these places this summer. I'm going to be doing just more than just a wall over and over and over again. We're going to do a lot of stuff. So that's why I want, when they come in, we're going to do projector mapping. So we're going to do the floors in individual squares in different places, and we're going to individual map them. Told you, my goal for when I basically go on site is the best one. I'm pouring all this money into that investment is to get our technology to the next level. They got expos coming up. I'm going to be in every single expo. I'm going to be in just about every single one of those places downtown to get our technology to the next level. I've done everything I can do online. That's all. I've done all I can do. You know, when you got people that are badgering you online, and people really can't see it unless they actually see it in real life. Now, some people see all the demonstrations they do, they compare us to everybody else. The other demonstrations come down to comparisons, and they can see that no one's doing our comparisons at the end of the day. But offline is a little different. When you're offline, basically that stuff has to work 100% because you got people that will walk up and question everything you could possibly think of, and I can't wait for that. I had a ball when I did the when I was doing the on-site. I had so many people would look at that technology. People would come back with other people and show the screen off. So I had a ball with it. So I'm going to basically push that to the next level. So, you know, later, by the end of the year, I'll have my storefront. I'll have my showroom. I want a showroom where people can come in and they can see that technology in different settings. When I said we've done just about everything, this is a 120-inch tension screen. Did you know I've done tension screens? Yeah, I can put that in. I've done tension screens, a lot of tension screens. 120-inch tension screen. We used to sell these on our site. This is when I found out about the whole shipping program on how you get perks on basically shipping items back and forth. If you have a company, you have legit paperwork under your company. So under my company, since we have legit paperwork, we're able to ship these for really much cheap. The problem is that we can't get to the screen anymore because the company used to sell these, so these for $620. This is a 120-inch tension screen. They cost about $3,000 to $4,000 now. Showing screens. Let me see. Tension projector screens. You should be able to do this. If you can't go to someone's site and you can't pull stuff up like this, they don't do anything at all. This is a tension screen. Now, what can I tell you about painting a tension screen? Because there are things you need to know before you paint a tension screen, which is extremely important. So you see where my tape is at right here and here? If I can stop for a minute. All right, you probably see it right there. See where my tape is here and here? On a tension screen, you have to have a 1 inch when it comes down to your tape width. You can't have it 3, you can't have it 4. Because you see that little line right there? That makes a difference whether or not your screen lays perfectly flat every single time. But if you damage that, you will damage your screen, and they're very easy to damage. So you need about 1 inch. Doesn't make a difference if it doesn't cover all the way over. It doesn't make a difference. You just have to stay on this side and not on that side. Because if you tape it all the way over, this can get tangled and you could damage that. I know that because, again, I've done tension screens. And this is me painting the screen in one-handed while I'm actually holding my cell phone. Oh, that's on my 600 by 800, 700 lumen projector right there. And that's what you see in the thumbnail. Those are tension screens. Another tension screen right here. That's tension 2 also. $120-inch tension screen, the one I just showed you. So you have to know what you're doing when you paint those screens. If not, you'll mess them up. Let's go with 235.1. I get people asking me about this one all the time. 2.35. Let's see, 0.1. This is how big my library is. Now, I've done this. I've actually been to their sites. I've typed this stuff up. I can't find anything because they don't have any knowledge in doing it. This is a custom-built 158-inch 235.1 screen. It has speakers installed in behind the back of this screen. I built that thing on camera. That's when I sit there and say, when people are going to try to tell you about fixed frame screens, I can't begin to tell you that y'all don't have enough knowledge when it comes to even building fixed frame screens. How many fixed frame screens have you actually literally built? Because that right there is a customized 158-inch 235.1 screen that has a speaker system built into it. .1 painted to the wall. This looks like 138 235.1. Let me see what we have here. Oh, this is when I bought the 235.1 fixed frame right there. 235.1 fixed frame. That's the projector I bought, which is a ViewSonic, which is a 235.1 projector also too. Cost me under 500 bucks. 235.1, 178 inches painted to the wall. So when I look at the aspect ratio for when I look at people, when they put their paints down, you put the easiest number down, 16:9. But you have 1610 too. People have 1610. I had a couple of customized 1610 screens. I had 127 and 129 inch customized 1610. But what if a person wants to do a 235.1 or 239.1? Can you direct them how to build it and put the entire thing together? Can you direct them on what projectors are basically used for that particular setting? 235.1, 105 inch. And Sonic. I haven't done a 235.1 outside. It's the only thing I haven't done yet. Which I'm going to do. 235.1. We got 1610, 1610, 16.10.10. Let's see. Screen's about 11 feet high, 180 inch, 1610 screen. This is where I have to control myself, because look, I can hear myself thinking in my head, like, you know what? I get tired of people at the end of the day talking trash. Don't know. I really want to take these guys to court and challenge my knowledge versus theirs on how much they know considered what I know. You guys would never be able to touch me. How many screens I've built? I built tons. Look at this. I can't believe it to myself. I'm baffled on how many screens I've literally assembled. Levitation screens. 1610, 129 inch, 129 inch, 129 inch, 129 inch. That's the custom gaming screen. 129 inch custom gaming screen. Levitating projection screen. Built dozens of those. First time I saw one of those, I was freaking like, what the freak is that? And I said, oh, we definitely got to build one of those. Definitely. This is a gamer screen that I built. Has all built-in speakers. I built that thing from the ground up on YouTube. Cut the wood and everything. Assembled it. Let's talk about levitating. I get this all the time by people asking about levitating screens. Levitating screens are very interesting screens to build. It's very interesting. A lot of math is involved. I guarantee that much. If you don't like math, don't bother putting that thing together, because I'm telling you, it's interesting. So levitating screens, basically, here's one we put together right here. See how the screen is? See how it looks like it's just hanging in midair? There's a little trick behind it all. It's tension wire here and here. You have to use a special fishing line. You can't use any fishing line. You just use a deep sea fishing line you kind of use for bringing swordfish. Can't be too thick, it can't be too thin. Light has to be to literally pass right through it. If light can't pass through it, then the wire is going to become, you're going to be able to see the wire. And then how you're going to attach it in. So once you attach it in, you got to have these little tiny loop screws here and here to attach the screen. You're going to have to paint the loop screws, because again, you can't show any silver reflecting, and whatever you have to the ceiling has to match the ceiling, and those loop screws which are ceiling is black. Now if you're building it with a frame, your frame is going to have to be extremely lightweight, because remember, it depends on how much tension that those cables are going to be able to hold without that sucker snapping and shattering on you, because you have to worry about that too. You have to have it so many inches from the wall. You can't have anything at the bottom, because it has to show that it's fully levitating, like it's floating. It's an interesting project to put together. And then when you do the back of it has to have another piece connected to the back of it, and it has to be painted stone white. The reason why is when you put the LED lights on the back of it here and at the bottom, it has to be to reflect off the wall to give it the illusion that it's floating. And that light will transfer through your LED light, your wires here, your cables here, and it'll make them look virtually invisible. So I'll show you the more interesting ones on the levitating screen. So right here, showing you how to build one from the ground up. They show you how to do this? No, they don't know what they're doing. There's so many different ways you can build fixed frame screens. It's not even funny how different ways you can put them together. If you take the wood, most people take them and they lay it flat. But if you lay the wood upward, where you have it at 4 inches or 2 inches going straight down and a 1 inch going across, you're making a shelf system all the way across. This allows you to wire in speakers if you do it this way. If you're doing acoustic screens, you don't want this and this and this in the way, because what's going to happen when light transfers to the screen, and it will, what's going to happen is you're going to see these little marks in your screen, which is going to be the wood frame on the other end. So none of this can be in here at all, period. You have to learn how to strengthen the frame without having any supports in the middle. This is where you get into the world of brackets. Brackets, brackets, brackets. What the heck is with all those brackets? No, see that? That's a levitating screen. See how there's no wire? You can't see anything there? That's why the back of the screen, you have two, when you put the first piece on, you have to basically put two sets of that surface on. So the first one you're going to put on is going to be the screen itself. The opposite side you're going to put on is going to be the dummy side. That's the side you're going to coat with this ultra white surface. Then you put your LED lights on. Your LED lights are going to reflect off the white surface and bounce back off the white surface behind the back of the screen, illuminating the screen behind the back of it. This is going to push through the fishing wire, which is going to make it look invisible because light's going to be transferring through it. They didn't explain this to you, did they? Yeah, well, that's why people come to me about building stuff, because we done all that stuff. It looks like it's actually floating. And if you get up close, you'll see the fishing line. And you have to figure out how much pressure can the fishing line take, consider how heavy the frame is going to be. Because the last thing you want is that sucker to snap and come out, boom, and you shatter your frame. Biggest frame I built in levitation was 120 inches. That was an interesting screen to put up. That was a real interesting one. Like I said, these are all these screens. Visual effect projection screens. Built screens, just about everything. Oh my goodness, that's a quantum fusion screen. I remember this is where we're messing with micro mesh. We're turning micro mesh into projection screens. This is 7 years ago. I gotta make one of these. See, that's what I'm saying. I always go back in my collection like, how come we don't make these anymore? How come we don't make these anymore? These things were amazing to play around with. This screen, this coating we had on there, man, that stuff made it like a solid screen, but it was completely mesh. All these things were fantastic. We gotta bring these things back, pre-coated. Look at this. Look how clean the image comes out. Hold on a minute. Let me go back and get this. That's mesh. We got to bring these back. We definitely got to bring one of these bees back. I'm going to do one of these in the backyard. I forgot about these things. Well, that's coming back. And put that FLE technology and bid that stuff in that too. I forgot all about these things. I already forgot about that. I definitely got to do that. What was it? Giant 150-inch movie screen. There's my 150-inch movie screen. That's why I said, not the same screen every single freaking day. That's what I'm talking about. Same screen every day. That's all they show. We built so much stuff, it's not even funny. Inflatable outside projection screen. Done dozens of those things in a day. That's why I know at the end of the day I had to build our own, because I was like, nope. After I put so many things together, it's not even funny. So many problems I've had with those things. Some of the screens drove me crazy. This actually was one of the best inflatable screens I've ever had so far. So easy to put together. The ones that have the Velcro that you stick all the way around, that's a freaking nightmare. And I'll tell you why. Because you're going to have it perfectly flat all the way around. And if you basically have a little bit of gap in there, it's going to leave a line right down the side of your screen. It's a freaking headache to deal with those things. I hate them. This one I like. You know why? Because it has clips on it on the outside. Some have the ones that strap over to the side. When they strap over to the side, sometimes they cut off some of the air and it causes the screen to fold down in the middle. You have that problem. Now these had the clips on the side. Clip, 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 clip. That was it. And as the screen started to blow up and expand, the screen would always stay tight because the clips were on the side. Where if you have the straps coming over the frame and staple on in, when it starts to expand, it would cut off air from here to here to top, and you would have this kind of like muffin kind of look to it, like these grooves into it, because the screen's trying to expand, but it's strapped down all the way across. They put the bands here and they put them from here. Bad idea. These grow on the side, so it means when the screen started to expand out, all we do is just stretch the surface tighter and tighter. That's why I like that design, and that's what I learned when I was actually working with all these projection screens. These are inflatable screens. Pretty good. This one actually had a pretty quiet motor. And what I liked about this one, the motor was actually built in. The ones that actually had the motor on the outside, you have to hook, and had a few of those things are freaking headaches. Anything can blow into that motor and basically jam it up and cause problems. You wonder why your screen's sagging on one side, because it's not getting enough air to circulate to the screen. This thing was very easy to assemble, pretty easy to take down. That's why I like this particular one right here. I actually gave this to one of my customers before I left. So we're going to make our own screens. They're not hard to do. Look at the material and everything. You're like, oh, gee whiz, you can put this together. There's a certain material and fabric that they use to put these together. Now, you see that right there? This is what I'm showing you. You see how the screen cracked and became damaged? Inflatable projection screens are extremely temperamental, which means if you paint this thing with any kind of acrylic paint, anything whatsoever, they crack. Easy. This is a screen that takes a lot of abuse. You take it down, you bring it up. You take it down, you bring it up. You take it down, you bring it up. You fold it again, you're going to damage it. The screen's going to have problems. But we figured out a way how to coat the surface without basically causing any cracks or imperfections, and we can fold it up as many times as we want to. So we literally have a coating for inflatable projection screens. But instead of basically allowing the customer to do it, we're going to convert our own screens with that coating and use it basically to make our own form of inflatable screens, because I want to restructure the entire screen on how it's built, because I don't like the way they're designed. See, it's a constant drain of power, that you need to keep these running. The ones that I want to build for my customers work like an air mattress. Once you blow it up, you're done. That means they make these. They do make them that way. They're just very expensive. That's what they have for pool parties. We can take the whole screen and put it on the pool, you know what I mean? Sandbag it down a little bit, and you can have it floating on your pool. Those are very expensive inflatable screens. The ones that I want to build automatically come that way, because they have two brands of these. If you buy these, they have, like if you buy from a store, they have one that has where you plug in, you put power into it, and you put the little plug in, you're done. They're a little bit more expensive. And then you have the other ones that run off the power. So we don't want it like that. We want it that all our screens inflatable start where basically you can basically fill it up with air and leave it that way, not charge you more for that option. That's what I want. Just when I was going back, I'm looking at the fact that we built our own frames. We built our frames and gave them away for free. So I want to get back into that. I want to make it so the customer does not have to worry about thinking about too much. The less the customer has to think about, the better it is going to be for them. They got to think about a bunch of complication nonsense. It's just a headache at the end of the day. I don't even want to deal with that crap. There we go. This is using the form of hologram technology we're working on. I'm still going to go back into this. I'm going to use it for projector mapping applications. That's a screen we're building. That's what I said the other day. Look, for the naysayers, a little message real quick. You guys are stuck in the past. You're so far in the past, it's not funny. My brain's somewhere else. I'm thinking about projector mapping, hologramming, all this kind of building our own inflatable projection screens, designing these giant colossal screens that are pre-coded, building screens that have their own frames already assembled and all that cool stuff. We're on a whole nother platform. And you're still bickering about things that we've done already. And, you know, I'm not trying to be rude here, but we've done it already. Been there, done it. I go through my YouTube channel, look at all this stuff that we put together. So when you got screens sitting on the floor and all your demonstrations, that tells me right there you're not ready. Customers can't do this, your product's not worth it. See how well lit that environment is? So your screen should operate, and this is how clean they should look in the room. No expensive projectors, none of that. The same way my screens operate, the same way my customers can operate. If you cut corners, your customers are going to know. That's what's going to find out. They are going to find out, and they're going to know. 135-inch screen. Let me see. 135. We got 135. Let's go 135-inch. 135-inch projector screen. And 152. There we go. That's 135-inch unboxing. I told you I put together so many of these screens. It's not even funny on camera. It's a 135-inch screen right there. That's another one I put together right here. Was this the tension rail incident? Because, man, it was an incident where they literally forgot the tension rails. Oh, that was a freaking headache. But it was a blessing in disguise, because I found another company just as good as Elite, but which much cheaper, because I paid a lot of money for the Elite screen when I put it together. So right there, that's my tension screen. So when you tell customers at the end of the day to remove the bar out of the center of the screen, bad idea. Extremely bad idea, because all that pressure is pushed down on that bar. So if they remove that thing, it's going to be a complete nightmare trying to get the bar back in. They're going to damage the screen to do it. You do it our way, because we've done this so many times. It's not even funny. I've painted in so many fixed frame screens. There's my 235.1 sitting on the wall. Paint it. Easy way to do it. Tape the screen all the way around, like this. See that? I got one sitting here, one downstairs. Best way to do it. You lift up the screen, you tuck the tape underneath the screen, because when you splash that paint around, it's going to be like a hockey table. You're going to have paint splashing all over the place. And the last thing you want to do is have this trace of whatever color the paint was right around your screen. You basically push the the tape underneath. If you can't get to the corners with the roller, you take a paintbrush and you get into your corners. Then when you take your roller, you lean it up on an edge and you cut it in, and that will allow you to give you a smooth edge all the way around. Very easy to do. Now, if you come across the screen that basically, when you paint it and you see the paint separating, that means it has a protective coating. I had to do that with the 235.1. Silver tickets have those coatings on. You go in, and all you have to do is just basically put a light coating on it. That's it. Let it dry and then hit it again. Boom, it's gone. That's it. When you see me roll that screen in, how do I do it? Do you see me painting it this way? No, that's a freaking nightmare. Who in their right mind is painting the screen this way? You'd kill yourself. That's why I say, and I hate to bring this up, and I got to say this up real quick. I don't try to talk about this too much, but I got to talk about this. Danny, you don't know what you're doing. You really don't. You have a 4x7 screen. You're painting it this way. Do you see the size of that screen? This is a 135-inch screen. They're huge. My screen downstairs is a 235.1. It's 20 feet wide. So if I were to paint this screen this way, I'd tear my back up pretty bad. Everybody paints your screens this way. This is how they paint them. Everybody does this way. You never paint it this way. Too much of a headache, too much work. That means I would have to take that stick and I would have to push my body all the way over here and no, it's too much work. You paint them up and down. Everybody's been doing this for years. Don't try to come in and change things. Leave it the way it is. How to say, if it's broke, don't try to fix it. Leave it the way. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. That's how you paint a screen. You're going to tell me I have no experience in that field? Okay, let's do a comparison. How many fixed frame screens have you done compared to me? There you go. I built more than you have. I built levitating screens. I built tabletop screens. I built all kinds of crazy stuff. I've had screens that actually fold in half, portable screens. I've done this dozens and dozens of times. I know that when you talked about fixed frame screens, you don't know jack about fixed frame screens. I know for a fact that, man, the Shelby screens are freaking heavy. I had one of them suckers my last time. That thing, like I said, was the equivalent of carrying. You ever pick up a 57 Chevy car door? You know how heavy those things are? That's what it felt like when I was lifting it up. Bend with your knees, bend with your knees. The Elite screens, completely frame is made out of aluminum. That thing was so lightweight, I can lift up 126 and carry it down my driveway, which I did with one arm. No problem whatsoever. Very lightweight. You'll get screens sometimes that may come with the corner pieces that are basically a kind of aluminum and plastic mixture. Them suckers will snap on you. Now the problem you run in with that. Another issue, sometimes they don't even follow the grooves down correctly. So when you go to slap your L plate in, it doesn't fit as snug as it's supposed to. So I had to go in with a grinder and re-grind out any of the sharp edges that were basically blocking my my L brackets from going through. Worst upon worst, all nightmares, they make the springs too short. So if they make the springs too short, you have to turn into the Incredible Hulk to stretch your springs that are going to be locked under the support bar to connect into the metal frame. Now, if you got the peg system, which is much easier, because all you got to do is put your tension rail in and just lift it up and just connect it into the little pegs that'll be sliding along the grooves when you actually set it up. I've done all these demonstrations already. Are all motorized but cheap motorized projection screens the same? No. Some of them basically at the end of the day, that when you go to basically wrap the screen up, they'll grind, which means it doesn't have a shut off where it gets to the top and it shuts off. It just keeps continuing to grind, which will damage your motor. Sometimes they make the bars too lightweight, so that makes the screen curl on the edge, makes it a pain in the neck for ultra short throws. Sometimes they make the PVC way too thin, and that does it also too. Now, if you notice, when I painted the screen in, we didn't do a just paint the screen for the sake of painting it in to get the screen wet. That's done. That's finished. And this right here in the next room is my kitchen projection screen in there. I got a kitchen screen in there. That's my kitchen screen on my ultra short throw projector. This is me going upstairs to check on my screen right here, the 135. That is 100, that should be 106 inches for that screen. Go downstairs, and that's my other screen set up. I had two back-to-back 135s and another screen right there's another fixed frame screen I had in there too in the next room. Now you see that? Chandeliers are on. Plenty of lights making contact with the screen. Looks just like a TV. That's how it's supposed to work, gentlemen. You're not supposed to be trapped in the dark. See that? Coming to the next room. Boom. See my screen? See how it pops up? How beautiful it looks? No dark environments, no dark corners, none of that nonsense. This is how ambient light rejection technology is supposed to work. These are 12s, by the way. That's 12 technology. As I said before, I can go back to 12s And I'm not rude here, but it's true. And I could do demonstrations on 12s that you can't even begin to even think of. None of your demonstrations could ever match 12 or any of my other screen paint products. This is what customers want. They don't want to be trapped in the dark. If this bothers you and it frustrates you at the end of the day, it should. Because it shows at the end of the day your products don't work. If you're angry at watching my demonstrations and this ticks you off to see me walk around an environment, in a fully lit environment, and all my screens fire up like this, and this bothers you, then that means you need to work harder to keep up, to reach up. Right, well, keep up, we ain't going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Not with all the technology we are developing right now. That's virtually not going to happen. Forget it. Just forget it. You won't be able to catch up. What do we got? This 135-inch outside, fixed frame screen, bum, 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 bum. We got another one over here, 135-inch in the back room. That's my 135 in the back room on my short throw projector. We got another screen in the next room. That's your product, by the way, the other guy. Ultra short throw, set up in this room, showing that gray and white screens on register or certified. Pop over into the next room. We got certified in there. They don't work on our technology either. In another section. Go back in and show you a star fill demonstration. Certified don't work again. If I ask you, what is your knowledge on certified projection technology? How many screens have you tested? You don't know. You know why? Because you haven't tested any certified screens. I know that for a fact. Look at this. This is what, and I'm saying, it's what your YouTube channel should be looking like. Let's go pop outside for a little bit. Go pop outside. Look at some demonstrations outside. Should go snow field on our 135-inch screen outside. Yeah. Boom. You should be able to do this at ease. The fact that if I have to hunt for this stuff, this should be popping up all over YouTube. Everywhere. We got so many demonstrations. These are demonstrations I don't even show on my website. We don't have enough room. We don't have it. Come out of here. People ask me about floodlights. Okay, if I got floodlights on the deck, can I run your screen paint? You got any demonstrations on that? There you go. We got the OLED horse outside with the floodlights making contact with the screen. You'll pick up an infinity contrast level. Look at the black level pulling up. So when I got customers that ask me questions like this, they go, well, can I do this? Can I do that? So we can send them all that stuff. We're not sitting there, do it on our fingers, trying to figure out exactly how to cut corners, how to get it done. What's the difference between a white and gray screen in our technology? This is a splatter screen. We got dozens of splatter screens. See right here? Look at this. See right there? Look at this. That is my black 235.1. It's sexy, ain't it? That screen is gorgeous. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. It comes on. Like I said, I had somebody come in and try to talk trash, and it was like, well, your screen, your ceiling's painted all black, and that's the reason why. I said, you do know that's a projection screen, right? Turn that thing on. He left the room. Yeah, bye-bye. We're used to it. Let's see what we got. Motorized projection screens and windows. Man, I'm just crazy, man, on how much work we got done in here. Short throw projectors. You want to check out my list of ultra short throws? All I got to do, I ain't gonna put no paints in, just put down ultra short throw. That's all I got to put in. Let's start the madness. I can be outside, I can be inside. It doesn't make a difference. I've got ultra short throw projectors of 2200 lumens. Yeah. I can show you Pico projectors at 50 lumens outside. There's our demonstrations right there. Anybody that, when we run into a perform site and they're talking trash about their ultra short throws and ambient light projection technology, we send them this. Anytime we got a customer that says, hey, how well does your product work on ultra short throw projectors in a fully lit environment, we send them this. You can't get any better than being outside. That's an Optima GT 5500. We turned off the contrast because it's not required because, again, the screen's black. So when I see people with these little lights splashed behind the back of your screen in these poorly lit environments, this is what you have to go against. That's outside. It's a $1,500 projector. That's the most I paid for that. And you can't do that on your projector at the end of the day. And you're in a dark environment, there's something wrong with your screen. And we can go outside and do it. I beat their promo demonstration. See, contrast levels, 9 yards, everything. Beat their own promo demonstration. Ultimate GT 5500. I had the 55 and 56. We got ultra short throw on. What are we doing here? Ultra short throw. $60 ultra short throw projector versus white surface. Projector has a 4,000:1 contrast. That's basically about it. That's all. We don't even need contrast at all. Should I pull up my gray versus black? I can pull up my unboxings on projectors and screen paints. I can pull it up. Mesh, glass, sheet metal, you name it, we've done it. Tables, we've done tables. Table demonstrations, done. On site, we got tons of demonstrations on site. Matter of fact, I collected a ton of demonstrations walking through that building. Let's see. This is the easy ones. This is where I start getting to the point of saying I need a challenge, like literally, because it becomes way too easy. While you guys are stuck in dark environments, we're on site doing demonstrations like this on commercial environments. It is what it is. Your knowledge doesn't click the mind at all, period. Watch this. Let's see. Rear projection technology. We got ultra short throws. Oh, here we go. There's one to knock you out right there. Ultimate GT 5600 in a fully lit environment. This demonstration, for any of you showing ultra short throws at the end of the day, this would put you to shame. Now I want you to see how bright my environment is. Look how much light we have in here. I'm gonna go over to the corner side right here to show you how much light. If you notice that my screen is not sitting on the floor next to a fireplace, it's sitting right up, and the condensed lighting has direct contact with my screen at all times. This is what our technology, this is an 8, not even a 12, it's an 8. 8s can do this. This is why I got to teach myself. When I see you guys doing dumb stuff at the end of the day, it's like watching the 3 students. When I see you guys doing dumb stuff, this is where I had to learn to be a little bit more mature and just ignore you guys. Because again, you're not on my level. You don't do stuff like this. We do. See how bright that environment is? See how you can see my baseboards nice and bright, ceilings and walls nice and bright? And you guys are trapped in dark environments, and you don't wonder why your products don't sell. You don't have it acknowledged. You don't know what you're doing. If you want, I can challenge you in court. I don't have no problem with that. On site. There we go. That's work light. That's an actual floodlight hitting on top of our projection screen right there. Did that on site. I'll make it too easy. I do that because I've done a lot, man. I've done so much, it's not even funny. We get these guys that come up here and cut corners, don't even do stuff correctly, poor demonstrations, dark environments, and then they want to talk about how good their products are. I could wrap circles around you, and with my technology, look at this. Anything I go to, any page I click on, is far more advanced than anything you've ever done on YouTube. Look at that. It's a 126-inch screen. So under the Optima GT and Optima GT 55 and 56, it's only designed to do a 100-inch screen. I was able to get 126 out of that because of the black technology. What are you showing me at the end of the day? And this is why I said I got to get to a point where I have to stop the fight, because I'm done. I've backed up my product on so many levels. It's not even funny how much I've backed my product on. You guys haven't even begun. I got over 10,000 video demonstrations. You haven't even come close to what I've done already. Show me a demonstration of your product doing this. Can't show it, can you? No, of course you can't. Because your screen's sitting on the floor. That's why I keep telling you, why are your screens sitting on the floor? They're not supposed to be on the floor. You should have them up. That's because you're dodging light. That's why. That's why you got them sitting on the floor. Customer. This is a customer right here with the Epson LS800. See my screen painted to the floor right there? See what color it is? It's black. It's not gray. It's black. See the projector's black. See the stand is black. See the paint pan's black. The screen is black. Even the cushions match it is black. So when you got screens coming up gray in demonstrations, you no longer have a black paint. You can't call it black paint. Your paint is gray. That's what it is. That's a black technology. Now, you see this right here on this projector? See the side of the wall that's not registering anything at all, period? On an Epson LS800 Ultra Short Throw. We don't have Christmas tree lights splashed behind the back of the screen. It's in a fully lit environment. See this right here? See the color? Look at the color on the wall. So it proves when I tell you that people go out and they spend the money for expensive machines at the end of the day, and they don't work. And the reason why they don't work, because you don't have the proper screen. Without our technology, that projector you paid all that money for does not work without our technology. See the difference between that wall right there? With all that power that projector has, it can't read without our technology. So if you're telling people at the end of the day it's your great paints work, they don't. Because let me ask you a question. How would I see an infinity contrast level? How would I produce a 100% black level? I want to show the stars in the universe off the side of my wall. How can I do this on a gray screen? You're going to suggest me to go buy a projector with expensive inky contrast? It's going to cost me more money? I don't want to spend that. What if I don't want to spend that? What if I want to keep my budget as $500 for a projector? Then what? How you fix that problem for me? Because you can't. So guess what they do? They come to us. Because you know why? We got a black screen. And that means they can take a projector that costs them $500 in their budget and lower than that and picked up that contrast level with no problem. So you're going to force me to buy an expensive projector so I can fix your problem on your screen at the end of the day? That's the problem I have with projection screens. The fact that they suggest you to buy expensive machines to fix the problem, and you can't even fix it. So if I got a budget of $500 and I don't want to spend that kind of money at the end of the day, then what? You're going to lie to me and say it works? It don't work. There you go. Simple and plain. How do you fix the problem? Now, for people who sit there and say our products don't work, again, we've been through a site where you came to buy your stuff. You can't back your product up. We've got cancellations. It is what it is. I can paint circles around you all day long. Look at this right here. This right here is an ultra short, though. It's 2200 lumens. That's a Hitachi, I think it is. You see my image right there? See how clean it is? That projector is 2200 lumens right there. It's a CPA22. I need to get another one of those too. That's actually a pretty good projector. We get this for $65. That's my projector right there. Let me show you something. No kicks and giggles. See all those lights popping up on the screen? We got lights sitting right next to the screen, right on top of it. That projector costs $65. I think it's $65 now. I'm gonna get me another one of them. That's a cheap machine. I'm gonna buy me another one. They got the automatic door that pops open on them. And again, sitting in the dark, $3,100 machine, you're sitting in the dark. I can do this with 2200 lumens and register on that screen. Been there, done that on ultra short throws. And we done 2200. Customer did 900. He had a fill-up projector that had 900 lumens. Pictures right there showed it, pulled up on the screen. What else we got here to play with? Let me see. But I've never done that. No more demonstrations. Gray screens don't read. Done that 100,000 times. Let's go. We did ultra short throw. Let's go with let's see, outside. How many outside projection screen demonstrations have you done? You know, you have to have tons of those. Here we are. I like the outside demonstrations. You know why I like the outside? It's more of a challenge for us. Anything inside we can conquer with no problem because we've done it already. Outside is more of a challenge because there's nowhere you can hide. There's no windows, there's no doors, there's nothing. You're out there in all those elements and you have to deal with it. You see how far my projector sits back? My projector's halfway across the yard. And if you have an ultra short throw projector and you're sitting right up on top of a screen and you can't read and you're in a dark environment, there's a problem there. You should be able to take that same screen that you have inside, bring it outside at 150 inches and display it at 20 feet back from the screen without having any discoloration of color or contrast. You should be able to pick it up with no problem whatsoever. If you can't do that, then that thing's not going to work in the house. Got to show me something. Inflatable projection screens. This is why when we design our inflatable projection screens with our black coating attached to it, they're going to sell faster than any other white screen on the market. That's another huge investment crew I got involved in. Those black inflatable screens when they come out. As a matter of fact, I'm even working on the first 235.1. How come there isn't a 235.1 inflatable screen? How come there's not a 235 and motorized projection screen? That's another one too. How come we don't have a 235 motor? I would love to have something like that. We should have one. Supreme 8 outside. My neighbor's coming out. They literally thought that thing was a TV coming out. My projector's over here, behind the 2 panes of glass. It's supposed to look like a TV. That's how your projection screen's supposed to look like. The white screens don't work it. And that was a garment turning bed sheets into projection screens. We didn't get to the surface area yet. I basically turned styrofoam, sheet metal. I actually turned a blanket into a projection screen. It's kind of stuff I do when I get bored. That's a bed sheet. So the new technology we have now is far darker than that. And we're going to turn those into OLED projection screens and use them to take out certified bed sheets. So, you know, I'm sitting there. I used to buy stuff from Carl. Carl makes good stuff, but I'm painting over it, so it's gonna be expensive. So I'm sitting there laying in the bed, and I'm like, why can't I turn this into a projection screen? It's cheap, it's big, it's a good size. I can staple it over a frame and coat over top of it. It'd be fantastic. I went to Walmart the next day. I picked up this bed sheet for $7 and painted it. And this is the results that I got out using our technology. Now, from that information, instead of customers going out and spending all this money at the end of the day to spend for these expensive surfaces to paint over, they can just get an everyday bed sheet. We start that stuff at the end of the day. They don't do that stuff because they're afraid to do these demonstrations. They wait until we do it, and then they come out later and say, oh, look what we're doing. No, we did it already. We're the first ones who did it. Yep, bed sheet, that's it. Styrofoam, yep, there's a styrofoam projection screen. Here's another one of my customers from back in the day. That's a digital one crystal. That's a black, one of the black screens we first developed. That's what he was trying. He had a gray paint there first. That's the problem he had. Then he used our technology, and this is what he has. These are my customers. I got customers that go back as far as the Digital One technology. I got customers that go back into D4K, D5K, D6K. I got it under Crystal Edge, and I have it under our new technology and this technology. When you talk about my customers, you know how many customers I actually have? I accumulate them all together. I got thousands of customers, way beyond what you have. You know, customers you have on your page, that's nothing. I can go back in my archives and pull my beta testers. That's one of my customers right there. Sends their slideshows in. Yeah. Demonstrations for days. I got people ask me questions like that. I got so many demonstrations it's not even funny. I turned an air mattress into a projection screen. I got bored. This is what happens when I get bored. I do weird stuff. So I was like, oh, I can't turn an air mattress into a projection screen. Now, if it didn't have the lines across it, it'd be quite nice. But I was thinking, like, can I do that? And yeah, it turned it into a projection screen. You know, the whole purpose of this was a demonstration to prove that the product doesn't crack or peel. So I was able to deflate that, roll it up into a little corner, and then basically take it up and inflate it again and show it over and over again to show that the product doesn't crack or peel. That's why the demonstration was done. An inflatable mattress. Well, I tell you, if they made them basically, we didn't have the little lines in them, and it was just flat, it would have came out pretty cool. But other than that, yeah. A mattress, an inflatable mattress. While everybody else was painting to the wall and trying to keep things tradition, and we were breaking the mold. Every chance we got the chance, we were breaking the rules. Doing something different. Mass up 250-inch screen outside. One of the monsters that we call the Titans. You ever watch a game on a 250-inch screen? I've done it. It's quite impressive. So this is the reason why I call bluff when somebody says 2 quarts to paint a 300-inch. No, it's not going to happen. That's 250. That screen's 11 feet high. My deck is 11 feet high, and that thing was over 20 feet wide. That thing was huge. Yeah, watch a football game, and that was pretty fun to watch. When I put that screen up, I had my neighbors on this side came out, and he was like, yeah, I'm not bothering. I said, no, you're good, you're good, you're good. He was out there watching the game with me. Look at this right here. Difference between a white screen and our black technology outside. This is 2,500 lumens outside. That's why I said be very careful when you make statements by saying that I need 4,000, 5,000 lumen projectors in order to produce my images. I have demonstrations on 12 feet back, 2,500 lumens on an NEC projector. Measuring tapes out there, demonstration in the middle of the day. There's my Casio laser projector too. Done laser? Yeah, done laser. I have several Casio laser projectors. Same thing. Sun killer technology 3 years ago. We've had it. It was called a smoke. That's what it was called. Before it was engineered into the technology we have today, which is called FLE. Gentlemen, I have a history on my products. I can literally go back and show you how we first started out and what it's involved into. So that technology right there, we had that technology 3 years ago. So when you post Sun Killer, like you have it, we had it 3 years ago. It just evolved into what we have now under FLE technology. You think that's new? We've been had that stuff. You're late. See, one fellow came up and he was trying to say, oh, I have this technology, something he just developed. No, we had that 3 years ago. It was called an AR, ambient light rejection smoke 10. That's what it was called. And we converted it from that into the FLE technology. So again, like I said, don't talk about things you don't understand. I can show you the timestamps on my technology. I can show you invisible technology we had 10 years ago. I can show you black technology we had 8 years ago. You guys are late to the party. See that right there? Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Yeah. That's 10 years ago. Let me see. Our customer demonstrations outside. Let me see. Any more stuff in here? Oh, 1,000 lumen projector outside versus a white screen. Let me see right here. Here we go. Thousand lumens. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a Sony VPL FA30, one behind me. Let's go with let me see. If you want to do, we did outside. So let's do something under Sony VPL. I think it's a CS4 projector. They're 1,000 lumens. This is my demonstration. This is why I explained to Mr. Wake at the end of the day, this is what we tell you at the end of the day. Don't run your mouth about things you don't understand. You get on camera, you make a fool of yourself. This is a Sony VPL CS4 projector. I got the unboxing on this projector and all that. This is 1,000 lumens. These are the demonstrations under the 1,000 lumen projector. Even on our page, we have about 20 of them on the page right now to show. We have over 800, 900 of these. This thing has been tested on every single screen paint we pretty much have so far. We even did 1,000 lumens with the screen directly in a line of light of window. We've done everything against white paper and certified screens, you name it. We've used this projector over and over again. We've had it in the maxed out environment on a 27 gamer. Right there. This is versus a black mesh. This is versus black tape, and this is black fabric versus the technology that we have in the room at 1,000 lumens. If you're going to develop a black technology, this is one of the most brutal tests that you have to put your product through. See that max out environment? That environment, basically, if you saw in the demonstrations, basically meters don't pick up in an environment. That's how we got the nickname, the max out room, because meters can't register down there. So with that being said, I got 1,000 lumens. I'm about 18 feet back from the screen, which means 1,000 lumens is going to travel through an environment that a meter can't pick up in. How many lumens do you think I have left for my screen to collect to generate enough white light to overpower the mesh, the black paint, the black box, and the fabric, and still bring an image back to me that I can see? This is why I explained to you, gentlemen, that demonstrations like this is what we call the nail in the coffin when it comes to court, because I can do that in the courtroom. So how is it possible that you're running 3,000 lumen projectors that are able to turn our technology black and unwatchable when I can do this at 1,000 at 18 feet in an environment that meters can't read? And therefore, that's why they're asking for all that money, because we can back it. Attorneys are only going to ask for what they can back. See? Why do you think I laugh when I sit there and I say, send me all the black paint you want? Because I've done this stuff already. You can send me as much black paint as you want all day long. We request, that's why we request it from you. Because we know we can tear it up when we get on camera. We've done it at 1,000 lumens in a max out environment. I've done this outside. So that's what the demonstration is. See right here? Black paint, black fabric, white level test, Sony VPL, CS4, Dark Legend 27 Gamer. See, the thing about it is that you guys are so used to running your mouths, you really don't research me. That's where you get yourself in trouble. If you'd research me and you see the kind of tests and things that I do at the end of the day, you wouldn't open your mouth. And this is why you got yourself in all this trouble. This is kind of brutal testing I put my product through. So if we got our hands on your product, guess what your stuff would be doing? Stuff like this. That's why I shake my head. You don't know me. You don't know my tests. You don't know my demonstrations. As a matter of fact, for people at the end of the day that feel their demonstrations are phony, then complete them all. Complete all my demonstrations. It'll take you about a year or more, maybe a lot more than that. Complete. I'll give you 10 of these. Just complete them, have them done. If you can't pass everyday grade paint, this is a black on black test, by the way. If you can't pass everyday grade paint and you have to tint the container to tamper with it so you can pass, you're not going to pass one of these. So that's why I can take my t-shirt off and throw it on my screen, do all those crazy demonstrations, because again, we've done it already. I've done it on a projector at 1,000 lumens. Heck, I did it on my table right here with the apple barrel at 50 lumens. And that's where part of me, I have to understand that when these guys start acting, don't entertain them. I'm already know what I've done. I'm just so used to defending my stuff. That's what it comes down to. I've defended my stuff from chat rooms and forum sites and just about everybody and anybody who's come across my technology. I stood my ground and backed my product 100%. I got to learn to teach myself at the end of the day. You have done all that you have done. You have backed your product 100%. If they don't believe you, move on. You will always have people to put money on your table. And it's true. Always will have money on my table, no matter what. You see my order updates and all those order updates, all those orders that were pushing through my accounts, and they push through now on my account, that all those demonstrations that you guys have done to slander my product, no bread has ever been taken off my table. Ever. You want me to dig up my black versus black test? They're freaking crazy. I've done some crazy stuff on black versus black. We've done so many insane black on black tests. Mine, they can't pass a basic gray versus gray. He hasn't done any black versus black tests at all, period. So you don't know what you're getting in the mail. This is why they're angry about the batch numbers. So with that being said, if you can't pass this on gray paint, you got some problems, man. And we could drop at 1,000 lumens. We can swap projectors out in the middle of demonstrations, not a problem. There's my Sony right there, another environment, max out environment. Pulling a white level halfway across the room. We don't do that at ultra short throw. Ultra short throw I consider it to be cheating because you're right on top of the screen. Distance though is much more funner because your lumen count is going to drop by a lot depending on how much light you have in the environment. It's going to drop dramatically. Makes the screen has to work harder. So when I got customers who tried to take from me and they say, oh, I couldn't see the screen, are you ready for that in court? Because I can do that easily. I can take Old Faithful, I can drop her back 25 feet and hit a screen in a fully lit environment and pull. Are you ready for that? Now, that's why I said, that's why you got to test your products. If you don't test your products, then people like that will get over on you. Let's go over here in the script. These are all 1,000 lumen demonstrations. 1,000 lumen demonstrations with the screen tucked in the door. Outer space. Color levels. Let's see. We got any outside? I think we got some outside demonstrations on this product. Oh, here we go. Outside. This is a 12. AR-12 outside. That's a 12. Outside. 1,000 lumens. And you want to go against an FLE technology. Gentlemen, don't get mad at me when I say this. You're wasting my time. You are. Look at this. I'm going to show you my archives. This is how crazy my archives is. This is 1,000 lumens. Another VPL FH30. No, sorry. The VPL CS4 projector. Outside. Let's try, let's see. I'm going to do, we done that. Another 1,000 lumen projector outside again. There we go. 1,000 lumens outside again. Let me bring this down a little bit for you. There you go. Outside at 1,000 lumens. Let me see. Let's do underwater. Projector screen. We haven't got to the tables yet. Underwater projection screens. It's called submersible screens, that's what they're called. This is being done at 50 lumens. 50 lumens projector, yeah. So what you're seeing is a fish moving back and forth. That's our technology. The projector's on the other side. So the projector is traveling through, pushing through the water, hitting the screen, and producing an image you can see on the other side. Should I show you 3D applications, hologram applications, visual effects application, projector mapping applications? Got a little rubber ducky floating around there. Shows there's actually water in the tank. See, water in there. We're sitting over there with our 50 lumen projector. So if you do, crazy if we can project underwater. Even 3D mapped underwater. Did that too. Got that 3D mapping equipment, man. I was like, if we do this underwater, put that thing right through a freaking tank. Did it underwater. We even have a screen that's liquid. It's an actual liquid screen. I haven't got around to do anything with it yet. Now, you saw that demonstration, right? When do you think we started doing screens submerged underwater? To test to see if our screens were weatherproof. You see this container, gentlemen? This side, inside the container, is filled with a screen paint. This is all water. So the tank, the screen itself is actually inside of the tank. There's a screen paint here, and this is filled with water. So we take a projector, and we put it on the other side, because I got questions. This is my QME projector right there. Let's see if I find my QME projector. Right there is my QME. And as what it does, it's pushing an image through the water that's making contact with the screen that's painted inside of the tank. Now, when did I do that demonstration? Let's see. I did that demonstration, gentlemen, 9 years ago. This is what I mean by you're late to the party. I was doing these demonstrations before you ever thought of. Mr. Robinson, Solid Wake 5, were you around 9 years ago? You weren't, were you? Nah. You weren't even heard of at all, period. So how are you going to educate me on something that you weren't even around when we developed it? I'm just curious. How are you going to tell me about projection screen technology? You weren't there. Where were you at 9 years ago? You sure weren't around where we were around. So you didn't know what you're talking about at all, period. That's 9 years back. Let's try, let me see. Oh, there's another one submerged screen we're playing around with. There you go. There's another right there. Got a projector on the other side, transferring light through one end and out the other. See? You weren't even around in this era either. This is 5 years ago. You didn't exist. Mr. Rogers, you talked all this trash. You have all this knowledge. You didn't exist 5 years ago. We were there 5 years ago. You weren't around. I'm pretty sure you were living in all, yeah, but you weren't in the projecting field. Let's talk about hologram technology, 3D, not 3D mapping, an actual projection screen that doesn't require 3D glasses. We developed it first. See right there? That's our technology. Mr. Rogers, were you around? No, you weren't even thought of. Matter of fact, Jamie wasn't even around. He wasn't even thought of. That is a technology we're working on to be able to make you be able to use projection screens for visual effects applications and abstract art without using any form of 3D glasses. Tell me that's interesting. This is technology. We call it back burner technology. You know why? We never got around to toying with it. Maybe I'll go back to it when I have time. Let me show you the timestamp on that, gentlemen. Timestamp on that technology is 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, I was developing a technology that allowed you to be able to use a screen for visual effects and 3D applications without using 3D mapping applications or any form of special VR glasses. When I explain to you at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to be rude here when I say this, my level of intelligence when it comes to this field is way beyond yours. I am not joking. You don't fit in my world. You don't exist in my universe. And this is where I make the mistake. I really got to stop taking the time to come down to your little world to see what you're doing. Because when you're on there barking and carrying on, that's all you're doing is just barking and carrying on. I can literally go back 8 years ago and show you technology you've never even seen before that you can't even think how it's even done. Gee whiz Louise. And this is my mistake at the end. This is my fault for basically entertaining him. Now, yes, we need to expose him from time to time. But now, since we got the criminal charges and everything done, FBI's got everything they need at the end of the day, we don't really need to talk about this anymore. I need to concentrate on my work at the end of the day. But I can literally go back and show you 8 years back where my products were doing things that your products today can't even begin to even think of. I wrap circles around you, gentlemen. A lot of you not. Look at that. That's 8 years ago. Technology engineered 8 years ago. You're not on my level. I'm not trying to be, you're not on my level. Y'all come up with these freaking ideas at the end of the day. We've done that stuff already. Literally, have done that already. Like, really? This is what we're doing now? This is what we call good product at the end of the day? You don't know a good product that smacks you in the face. Not to be rude, but you don't know what you're doing. You really honestly don't know what you're doing. Projector mapping underwater. I told you, we back up everything we talk about. So this right here is my tank and my projector mapping. So what I did was I went in and I coded, because we have no fish in here. After I'd done the whole thing with the fish, I couldn't do fish anymore, which is too much work for me. But anyway, fish had passed on and I didn't get any more after that. But I decided to use the tank for work. So basically, we use this invisible coating. This is one of the invisible coatings we're working on, because when we're in the projector mapping field with a lot of these other people, the problem was that people had like artwork that they designed and they were basically scanning the artwork. But the problem was that the images weren't picking up all that well. Especially if your artwork's red or blue or green, it's going to alter and change how the projector sees it. So we were working on an invisible chemical that basically like an invisible black technology that will allow you to be to spray it over top of surface. You can hit it with the projector and you wouldn't be able to alter and change the surface. Even if the surface was red, blue, or green, the surface wouldn't be able to alter how the projector sees, and the surface couldn't be altered because it's an invisible coating. And to test it, we sprayed it inside of a fish tank. Like this. We also put in a screen and submerged it so I can basically project through water. So right now, that scanner is basically projecting the big daddy that's walking back and forth in the tank, and see how the objects are moving back and forth. They have that kind of like a glow kind of reflect. We were able to map that right into there. See, underwater. Oops, let me get my thing to pop up a little better. Underwater projection scan using our invisible ambient light rejection paint. It was technology that we were engineering for the projector mapping community. Would you know anything about that kind of technology? Of course you don't know anything about that technology. You know the first thing about it. But yet you'll get on camera and y'all talk like y'all know all this stuff. At the end of the day, you don't know jack at all, period. There's my big daddy walking around in the tank. Yep, been there, done that. Well, let me see. Ceilings and all that other stuff right there. And the screens on that right there. This is what? This was a floor? What are we painting on this one? Oh, this was a giant wall we was painting in. Yeah, this is the wall. A giant wall painted in. Whole entire basement wall I coated in black technology. See the surface that's in white that's not reading? That's the surface I didn't cover. I deliberately didn't cover it to show you that that surface was all white or gray. And we hit it with the projector, it wouldn't read it, wouldn't pick it up. It only reads when our technology hits it. See that? So those gray versus gray demonstrations that you guys right now are basically talking about, we did those for years. So I can go back and show you demonstrations that we're doing before you ever existed on YouTube. We've been doing that for years. I was doing that when I was testing D4K, D5K, and D6K technology. Rear projection technology outside at 1500 lumens. Ta-da! 50% done. That's a smoke technology right there we're working on for ad tech technology. Before it became ad tech, it was smoke. Front and rear. Been there, done that. Oh, let's see. Designing new versions of ambient light rejection technology. Wrapping screens in tons of light to see exactly how much they can absorb and maintain. This is why we have the technology we have today that can absorb light so well, because this is with testing that we were doing. Not doing these fake environments where you guys are sitting in these little poorly lit environments. No, projectors that are sitting in the next room while we wrap a screen in lights to see exactly how much punishment it can take and how much light it can absorb. Gentlemen, when I explain to you that you're going to challenge my company at the end of the day in court, this is the kind of stuff that's going to pop up. It's going to show the years of testing that we put in and the harsh punishment that we have put our products to make sure they work 100%. I hope you're ready for this. This is why when we come to buy people's stuff, they're terrified. They've seen the kind of stuff we put our stuff to. We were brutal with our stuff. 9 years ago, dropping screens in water, painting them inside of tanks. That kind of insane stuff. There's another demonstration right there. See how much light we have hitting that screen right there? That's why we got screens that can generate off ceilings, because the punishment we put them through. We have over 10,000 videos. I gotta check my account. I think we're over 10,000 videos now. We should be in that range, somewhere in that range, of everything and anything that you could possibly think of that we could do to a screen paint. So honestly, you really want to challenge us in court. Anybody, you want to challenge us in court. This is what you're going to be up against. If we buy your product, this is what you're literally going to be up against. I got floods sitting underneath my desk. Those things are freaking powerful. We threw them on our screen. Our screen can eat that up with no problem. Yeah, This is what you're going to be going against. Let's see what else we got here to play around in. And visual, projector, let's see. Oh, what the heck was this? This is a motorized projection screen. Oh, this is an impressive demonstration right here. We start off in this room. We got a screen here and screen there. Fully lit environment, as you can see, plenty of light. Got a screen sitting here to the wall on this side over here, firing off. Notice none of the screens are sitting on the floor. Going to the next room, we got an 80-inch portrait to the wall here. That's for my computer. Over here, we got a motorized projection screen fired up over here. See my white levels on my little doggy right there, my snow doggy on my screen, my black technology. See how I'm doing the roll down at the same time versus the screen over here to show you how amazing our technology is. Look at how crazy that is. Let's see what we do from here. We got the contrast levels showing you where the contrast levels don't work without our technology. Look at that. It disappears without our technology. Let's go pop over here, do a little white level demonstration. And we cover everything. I cover everything. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a couple of motorized projection screens for fun. Let's go pop downstairs. Walk downstairs. See what we got going on downstairs. Got a projection screen over here fired up. Go walk over into the next room. Turn the lights on. Boom. Projection screen fired up there. We'll walk around the environment. Got the screen fired up in the next room over here. So we got a screen fired up here. And we got a screen fired up in the next room. And we got the ceiling on display. So I got the ceiling. I got a screen here, screen in the window, screen upstairs wrapped all around the entire building. Nothing but screens on. And you guys are sitting there showing me these poor excuse demonstrations and these poorly lit environments. This is why I got to teach myself at the end of the day not to entertain you. Because you're compared to what I do at the end of the day, compared to what you do, you guys are jokes. You're jokes. Look at that. You got a screen coming off the ceiling. Look at that. And you're afraid, you got your screen sitting on a floor. Every time I turn around, the screen's just sitting on floors. Look at that. When I launch my new technology, my spray-on application technology, see all my projectors that I own? When I launch my new application technology, see, I said I'm trying to, right now in my head, and I'm trying to, this is what I'm trying to control in my head right now. It's not to come after you and embarrass you. That's the part I'm trying to control right now. Because I've already embarrassed you enough. Your products don't work. We know that already. That's the part I got to teach myself. To just ignore you guys. We already got you guys wrapped up for court. We got you ready for lawsuits. That's all good. We got you taken care of. When we know your product's trash, it failed multiple times. We got enough evidence to back that up on so many levels. There's no more I need to do. That's what I got to teach myself at the end of the day. Because so badly, we got that 7 coming out, and so badly, like that Infinity 7 technology, I'm just trying to keep myself, my posure, and trying to keep myself together and not going to your site and getting cancellations on you just for the sake of it because we can do it. That's the part I got to teach myself not to do. We know we can crush you any day of the week. I can crush you with no problem. I can make something now and crush you right now and challenge your product and you back down on me. So that's the part I got to learn to control. We know we automatically, you're no match for us. We know that already. You're certified no match for us. That's the part. That's the part of me at the end of the day that drive, that push to conquer and destroy. Because again, when you run a business at the end of the day, that's how you drive. That's your push. That's your drive. You have to battle and fight everything that comes across your path. And you have to rise and be victorious. Because if you're not, you're nothing at the end of the day. These are all or nothing. And that's what's embedded in me. I had to learn to control that part of me, because sometimes I go too far with it. I can crush somebody and keep hitting them over and over again, knowing that they're already down. There's a sign of mercy, and sometimes I don't even know when to show it. That's the part I'm trying to control. Because that 7 technology that's coming out that's Infinity 7 is brutal. This stuff is being engineered to knock out certifies. We already got technical knockout. So I'm talking about not knock out, embarrass the screens badly. Because when I went on the forum site, the fact that we had such a hard time trying to get people convinced about the Infinity technology, eventually now they see it. Now my likes are boosting. But at first they couldn't accept it. And we understand that. It's hard to accept new technology. We understand that. But you have to understand where the future is going to lay at. Way off by the time I'm off this earth and gone, there will be a lineup of black technology that will stand where I stand at. That'll be the usher of the new technology in black. That'll be far more superior than any other screen. It'll be the top of the pecking order. Instead of the gunmetal being the top of the pecking order, it'll be black technology that will be there. And other people that will follow my footsteps will definitely have that ability, because we paved that road to be there. See, gentlemen, you have to understand what I'm doing is much bigger than you on so many levels. I'm paving the road for the next lineup of black technology that will basically take over long after I leave off this earth. So we're the pioneers who started it. And you're in the path. The only problem is we can crush you at any given time we want. And I have done it. I've proved it. And that's the part I have to teach myself at the end of the day, that you've already proved your point. There is no point in going in and doing any more that you have to do at the end of the day. You guys are so upset and so angry over what we do, you commit crimes. You've gotten yourself in a lot of trouble. That's how bitter you are. And you know why you've gotten to that point? Most people, if they come against us, they try to make a better product. I respect that at the end of the day. I respect the person that's going to get down, work twice as hard, put in more hours. I respect a person like that, because at least they're trying to do something better. If we're the ones who basically fuel it and keep it going, I respect the person in the day. But the stuff that you guys do at the day are from people who don't have any knowledge, you don't know what you're doing, you're not well educated in the field, and you're angry and upset because you feel like you've been belittled, and that's how you act. And the only way you act out is just acting like how a child would act out, because nobody in real business acts like that. So I know this already about you. So that's the part I had to learn to teach about myself. When that 7 launches, that at first, and this is what I was going to do, I was going to come to your website and get cancellations from you to prove that you're afraid of the product. And then I was going to have somebody get your product down here, paint it into a fixed frame screen, and then basically paint a half and half right over your screen to show your product doesn't even work at all, and then paint over it. That'll destroy your product pretty bad. But why do all that? Why waste the time? Why waste the energy and all that? We've backed ourselves up hundreds and hundreds of times. Why do we need to back ourselves up anymore? That's the part that I have to control about myself. That's the part I learned to control. It's enough. Once we proved ourselves, it's enough. We don't have to prove anymore. But I want to. I have no idea how badly I want to. Danny was so terrified of a Spartan technology that he literally locked his shopping carts before the screen even launched. Did you know that? He locked his shopping carts. That's why I sat there and said, you don't need to lock your shopping carts. I didn't lock mine. None of mine. I'll never lock my shopping carts when I went on vacation. Just took care of my orders when I got back. You locked it because if we got through and got an order through, you would have to cancel automatically because you couldn't send it off. So that's why you locked your shopping carts, to keep us from coming in and placing any orders ahead of time. And then when you came back, you removed the state. That's what you did. So that way you couldn't get a cancellation. And that would have been really embarrassing for you. So you figured another way to keep from getting the cancellation, but still, it's still embarrassing. So we know what you did already. So, you know, it's no point entertaining it. We already know you guys are fakes and phonies. Your products don't work at the end of the day. Your stuff is trash. We know that already. And the fact for me to basically engage in you with this new technology to show at the end of the day that we're better when we already know it from the door is just pointless. I'm wasting my time here. I got too much to do. Now you go over there and cry and whine, do what you do best, because that's all you can do. If you really basically wanted to challenge me at the end of the day, you would bring a product that was worthy enough for me to look at and go, oh, it's worth my time. But you see, I just showed you just simple demonstrations. Demonstrations that date 8 years ago on technology you've never even seen before. That shows you exactly how advanced and how far we are up the ladder compared to where you're at right now. Every screen I paint down was its color. Watch this right here, just for fun. Styrofoam projection screen. First one that popped up. You know why? I'm the only one that did this demonstration. I'm the only one who has a styrofoam projection screen. Mr. Danny, let me explain something to you. Before you open your mouth and talk, learn to educate yourself on what we do over here. Now, you sat there on your channel and said, who would make a screen out of styrofoam? There's two different versions of styrofoam. There's the one that you get in packaging that has a kind of an English muffin kind of gritty look to it. You don't want to use that. This styrofoam is called insulation styrofoam. Sometimes they make it in a white, but most likely you can get it in seafoam green and purple. This stuff is really smooth. Basically, it's fantastic to use. It's extremely lightweight. And in this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thin sheets on here. So you won't have that little crevice to it at all whatsoever. It'll paint on nice and smooth like a piece of drywall. If you've done your research, you'd have found out there are several different versions of styrofoam besides the one you were thinking that came out of a shipping box. That's why I said it's definitely worth time to crack a book. So this is my styrofoam projection screen. I thought at the end of the day that why do I have to paint this down to a fixed frame screen? Why can't I just make the screen out of styrofoam? It's lightweight, you know what I mean? I had a couple of customers do it already. They loved it. As a matter of fact, my portable ceiling is going to be made out of styrofoam. Now, does this stuff snap? No, it's actually pretty flexible. See, we got our lights on right there. Beautiful screen. Very lightweight to hang up. Pulls up fantastic white levels. Looks absolutely beautiful. Let's try, we did sheet metal, right? I think we did sheet metal. Blanket projection screen. Let me see if we find ours, our blanket. Got bored one day. I was going to blanket. I was like, wait a minute. Can I turn that into a projection screen? Oh, I wonder if I could. Yeah, blanket projection screen. Literally. Trash bag projection screen. You got to figure out stuff at the end of the day to entertain you. You get bored. That's what happens to me. See all that right there? That's all over Google. That's our styrofoam projection screen. We're the only ones who did that demonstration right there. Only one. Because the problem is that you guys don't think outside the box. You think tradition. That's what you think. Tradition is old. Tradition is boring. It's lame. You got to do things differently. Got to think outside the box. Wait, you see the visual screens. Underwater projection screens. We just did that. Let's do a blanket. Yeah, blanket. Bed sheets, shower curtains, you name it. T-shirts, jackets, coats. You name it. I coated over it. Blanket projection screen. Here we go. Right here. I used a blanket to make a projection screen. That's an actual blanket right there. Using a wool blanket for a projection screen. Hey, maybe you don't have a bed, you don't have a whatchamacallit laying around, a bed sheet or whatever, I don't know. And you may find a blanket laying around. You might just want to turn that into a projection screen, right? You know, one of the things we started too, you could take a mirror and convert an everyday long throw projector into an ultra short throw projector. We show demonstrations on how to do that. We also help people, and basically I'm finding out that the ViewSonic projectors had a 235.1 setup. So right here we have at the bottom, that is my blanket projection screen right over there. See that right there? That's a blanket screen made out of a blanket. This right here, that's a, what do we paint this with? This is a drop cloth, just draped over it. We coated over it. And that's a blanket, an actual blanket. You get bored, you figure out things to do. Rear projection screen technology. Curved screens. Have you guys ever built a curved screen before? I have. I built multiple curved projection screens. You've done that one? I've done that one. I built multiple curved screens. A blanket. Yes, a blanket, 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 blanket. Let me see right here. We done, let me see. Yeah, take a $3 mirror. Turn it to an ultra short throw projector. Did that demonstration right there. Did a tutorial on how to do that. I did that about 8 years ago, showing people how to turn a $3 mirror and convert and turn it to an ultra short throw projector with the D5K, which is a gunmetal technology we developed. So let me show you on that one real quick. Really quick. Now, you see that right there? Oh man, really? Seriously? We don't get paid for these commercials. I could, we don't. I had 200 and something K on that, whatever it is, but whatever, we don't get paid for that. Anyway, see that right there? There's a mirror. So what happens is when a long throw projector hits that, it basically converts into a short throw. You know how short throws work, right? They have that mirror that actually bounces off of. Yeah, and this also cancels out lamp glare and all that good stuff. So from the distance we're at, and it's pretty interesting. I'll tell you how to do the whole thing. It's a tutorial how to do it. Basically how you keystone your projector so it sits just right, because it's going to throw it off a little bit. Then you have to change the rear because it's going to basically reverse it because it's bouncing off a mirror. And then once you figure it all out, it's pretty easy to do. Anybody can do it. This is before short throw projectors were extremely expensive, and a lot of people can afford short throws. So we figured out a way how to basically use a $3 mirror to convert and make yourself a short throw projector. Ta-da! Did you guys do anything like that? No. NEC projector ultra short throw. This is another one I picked up. Got it for a good price. I think I paid $80 for that projector right there. I've done dozens of ultra short throws. This one I paid $129 for this one. It was $129. There we go. See right there, see how the light, condenser lighting, makes contact with the screen at all times. This is very important. If my lights are way up here, that doesn't have nothing to do with the screen. It has to make contact with the screen at all times. Oh man, what haven't we not done? You know what? Let's just go look at rear projection screens. Let's go pop in there. We've done dozens of those. Oh, you know what? We have rear projection screens, but I want to do a curve too. And we got the out curve projection screen on top of that. That was a different curve projection screen. That was pretty cool to do right there on top of that. Here we go. We got rear projection screen technology. Where you want to start at, gentlemen? Because we've done this to death. So if you sit there and tell me at the end of the day that you're experiencing this field of rear projection screen, I'm going to tell you, you're not. Because again, we've been doing this for quite a long time. You see all these demonstrations? This is all rear projection screen technology that we have engineered. How far are we talking about this stuff goes back? Let's look at the numbers right here. We are in the field of 7 years back. We go farther than that. So 7 years back, we were engineering rear projection. We're a little farther back than that. We had rear projection technology already. See my projector back there? See it up here? Yep, there we go. Let me see. Let's see if we can go back a little farther than that. We got to back farther than that. We got to go way, 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 way back. Let me see. Oh, let's check this out. Check this out. Rear projection outside on Tron. You know how that's applied on, Mr. Rogers? It's applied on with a paint cannon, a spray cannon. You can't roll it on. You know why? Because if you roll it on, it'll damage the screen. Any imperfections that's on this surface right here would transfer over. So you can't roll them. They have to be sprayed on. So when you said that it was a roll-on application, this is how I knew you didn't know what you were talking about. This is my knowledge on what I know of rear projection. And you feel at the end of the day, I don't know what I'm talking about. You need some more proof. I can get you more. Let me see. Rear projection in black technology. There we go. That's pretty cool, eh? No rear projection in some black technology. Let's see. There's more demonstrations on rear projection. This is why when I went searching for your videos to find if you had any real knowledge of rear projection technology, I couldn't find any because you don't have any in rear projection technology. You haven't done enough demonstrations. Let me see right here. Oh, here we go. Ad tech technology. Takes on a direct hit from sunlight. This is our new stuff now that can eat through sunlight. That's what we evolved into. People can go back and check when I first started out and see exactly how my technology has evolved down through time and where we are at right now. And what have you guys developed in the timeline that I was working? I'm just curious. From the timeline when I first started off with great products, where are you at now compared to where we're at now? Oh, there you go. That tells you right there. So how in the world you have knowledge as much as I do? How can you teach me things at the end of the day? You can't teach me anything. Outside. Black technology outside, rear projection technology. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon. These are experiments that we were doing. That was a 7 right there that had that capability. So these are experiments that we're doing to see exactly what we need to do to get this product where it needs to be at. Black technology. Next, these are different forms of versions of darker technology involving invisible technology. When you do a transfer, it's called a clear transfer. A clear transfer means that when your image pushes through, it doesn't show any specks, imperfections, or anything. As I said before, if your product does not mix well, any imperfections will transfer to the opposite side of the screen. So the first thing they do is they show a solid white level to see if there's any form of imperfections. It'll show up on a solid white level. Trust me. What some people do, they'll stick to much darker levels so that way they can hide those imperfections that pop up. Gentlemen, this is where I embarrass you. Do you know what this is? These are the first versions of digital and crystal screen paint rear projection technology. And you're talking about how I don't know anything about rear projection? You look at my timestamp. What does that say? That's 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I was engineering a rear projection technology. That's what I was working on. And you, having now in 2023 maybe, talking how I don't know anything about rear projection. I was making that stuff before you even thought of. Jamie, before you even talked about rear projection, I was making it before you even thought of. As a matter of fact, I can go back and show you gray screen paint products where you two didn't even exist at all, period. There was no Solid Wake 5. There was no Mr. Williams. You didn't exist. I did. So you take 10 years of knowledge in rear projection technology and you bid it in what we have now. That's why I have a screen that I can sit against glass and sunlight and push through it, because it takes years and years to learn how to do it. A lot of faith from God. Oh, let's go to curved projection screens. Curved projection screens. Now, usually when you do curved projection screens, these require multiple projectors. We did with one. Oh, what the freak is that? What the freak is that? Really? We can coat the daylights out of it. Oh my goodness. I gotta look for some stuff now. That is sick. I like that. They got the lights we can hook up there too? Oh, heck yeah. With that new spray on stuff we got now. Oh yeah, done. Okay, I've got to go look into some of this now. What is this? Wait. It's a trade show display? Oh, we can convert that into a screen easily. Oh, heck yeah. We can convert this into a screen. Literally, easily. Oh, I need this. I'm definitely going to need this. We're going to have to buy this. We need this. We're going to cook one of these. We're going to make a curved screen. I've always wanted to have a curved screen outside. I've never had one before. I mean, I've had curved screens before, but we had to build the curved screen. This is already built. We could blast over this in a second and be done with it. Oh, yes. Challenge accepted. It's about to be on. It's about to be on. Curved projection screens. There you go. These are curved projection screens. It's called Out Curve. It's a screen we designed to push outward. And these are our curved projection screens right there. C, bum, 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 out curve. Got bored one day and I said, why does a curved projection screen have to be curved inward? Why can't they make it outward? And the interesting thing when you do an out curved screen, it has to be bent just right. If you bend it too much, you won't be able to see the left or the right. You have to stand in the middle and you have to be able to see both sides equally as they turned all the way around. It's fantastic for visual 3D effects. It kind of gives off this kind of like it's coming at your face kind of effect. It's pretty cool to watch. That was an out curve. We may make another one of those. I'm not sure. Let's see. Here's another one. All black. Curved projection screen. When were we working on this? At the end of the day, let's see. We're going back about 8 years when we're working on curved projection screens. 8 years. Have you guys built any curved projection screens? No. Do you know how to build a curved projection screen? No, at all, period. Have you attempted to build one? No. Because I haven't seen anything on your channel. People come to my channel just for information. We've done it already. There's another curved screen right there and a racing simulator. See, this is the reason why I go through the archives. When I do this, when I go through the archives and I show these guys stuff, they go, oh, shoot, we never did that. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. No, you didn't. When I tell you at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be rude. You don't know anything. You literally don't. You don't know anything. There is so much stuff that you haven't done. Curved projection screen should have been one of. That's on a 720p projector. That image is coming off the 720p. There's so much stuff you haven't done. I built simulators. Have you built a simulator before? I built a couple of those. So before you get on your channel and you start bad-mouthing me at the end of the day as acting like I don't know anything, I can go on YouTube. I can go back to my archives. I can dig up stuff that you don't even know anything about. All those demonstrations you've done, we've done them already. We did everything you've done already. That's why I got to teach myself at the end of the day, like, Bird, you've done this stuff already before. Why entertain them? They're just clowns at the end of the day. Just go about your business, work on your stuff, and leave it be. Okay, compared to my experience, you're nowhere on my level. There's my curved projection screen right there. I've done dozens of those. So I have an experience based on how to build curves. Ultra thin wallpaper screens. Before we had our wallpaper screens, we had these units right here. A flexible screen. Like they have the screens now that you can flex and bend them up. We had them already. We had those years ago. These were the panels. Never got around to finishing them. Just got too busy, that's all. Never finished them. I got people that contact me today about these panel surfaces. We just never got around to it. See my brightness? Everything is at 0. These screens generated so high of a white gain. It was amazing. They were just super crazy bright. But just like TVs on a 720p. We got people still bumping these and say, hey, you guys going to design those panels and get around to them? We're like, oh, I don't even know yet. I don't even know. So it's lightweight, it's flexible. You can stick them together. They can make one big screen and they come up seamless. Never got around to finishing those. That's back burner technology, which means we'll get around to it one day. I don't know when. Man, a lot of work. This is a lot of freaking work. When I look at this, it's just insane on how much you got to put in to get work to be able to back yourself up. This is why when I tell you that the hardest thing you will ever do when you sell online, you have to back up everything that you do. This is why, gentlemen, I can sit there and tell you that, man, I can talk and inform sites with the best of them. I got my research, man. I did my homework. A lot of work. A lot of work. And again, Mr. Rogers, your screens, you got to get them off the floor, man. They have to be up. You have to have condensed lighting. You need to move that condensed lighting right next to your screen. You want people to be impressed over your product? Stop putting condensed lighting way up here. That's a cheat. When you put lighting up in here and up in here, this doesn't touch the screen. Your lighting's hitting here and here. It has nothing to do with the screen. You see the light hitting here and here? This is making direct contact with the screen. If you're going to talk about having an ambient light rejection technology, you have to have physical light making contact with the screen. That means that the physical light can make contact with the screen and the screen can still maintain. If your screen has to be in an environment where you have lights over here, that's not going to affect the screen at all because you're used to having light making contact with the screen. See that light right there in the corners? See how it's hitting that mantelpiece, how bright it is? That's the same light that's making contact here. Can't baby your screens. You baby your screens, you're going to be afraid to come against people like me at the end of the day because we're the ones that are going to test your stuff. Look at that. See that bright well level? That's a black technology doing that. So you all think at the end of the day that I'm basically just being mean at the end of the day. No, I have the experience. I have more experience than they do at the end of the day. I've designed, built, made more screens. You see what screen at the end of the day, Mr. Danny? You see that bright light right there? That's a heavy bar infrared 1,000-watt light that I had installed under the screen to add more light to it because I felt that these weren't bright enough for me. I push my stuff. I make my screens work at the end of the day. They don't get any breaks. We don't hold any hands for my technology. Have to back your stuff up. Can't back your stuff up, nobody will touch it. That's why people can go into my library here and they can dig up whatever they want. Panels, curved screens, inflatable screens, outside screens, motorized screens, fixed frame screens. Hey, what about certified? Certified projection screens. Let's see. Have we done those? I can go into any form site, whether it be Black Diamond, Elite Screens, DMP, Supernova, Firehawk, G4, you name it. We've been there. We've done it. And I'm not talking about testing where you guys do it, where you take one little sample sheet, stick it in a dark environment. I do color levels, I do white levels, I do contrast levels. I have literally done that demonstration so many times I can see it in my sleep. Give me a white screen. Give me a red screen. Give me a blue screen. Give me a green screen. Give me a purple screen. Give me slow color changer. Slow color changer, give me white levels. 4K snow screensavers. Over and over and over again. Black contrast levels, lights out, lights on, 1,000 lumen projectors, ultra short throw demonstrations. I literally have to go to the site and have to buy ultra short throw certified screens because if I don't, and I use one of the screens that are long throw, I run the risk of getting a lawsuit slapped against me. Because they can clearly say, well, Mr. Bird used a ultra short throw on our screen, and our screen, that screen's not developed for it. This one is. Yeah, they got me. They definitely got me on that one. So that makes sure I find out exactly which ultra short throw, and that's what we use. Certified screens. Here we go. Line them up. Let's get it done. Bam. There you go. I've tested all of them. I know everything there is about their technology. I know all their flaws on their technology. Everything and anything you could possibly think of, I know. I've done so much testing on their products. It is not even funny how much testing I've done. Do you realize that the technology you're staring at right there is beating screens that run anywhere in the range of $800 to $1,500 to $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, which means the very technology that's doing that right now is worth millions of dollars. And this is technology we don't design anymore because it's outdated compared to the technology we have now. I literally can go back to a 12 and wipe out an entire product line of certified screens right there. That's a 12 doing that damage. We don't consider 12s to be, we consider 12s to be old technology. So your products don't do this stuff at the end of the day. What's the value of your product? There you go. So any customer that goes out and spend $3,000 for a screen can come to us and get it for under $500. And not only are they able to have a screen that can take out the screen that they were going to buy, but it'll take out every single one along with them. So that technology becomes worth a lot of money. And in the field that we're at, we basically feel that the 12 is beneath us. Even though the 12 has the capability to knock out that many certified screens. Even though it has the ability to pull up images in fully lit environments, you can take it outside. It's ultra short though compatible. It can operate on a 1,000 lumen projector at 13 feet and even pick up at 18 feet in a fully lit environment where meters don't even pick up. And we consider that to be a technology that is beneath us, because the FLE technology is far more superior. So if you can't beat that, what chance do you have of going against an FLE technology? See, there you go. With the certified screens, the problem they have with us is the fact that we advance. Every time we turn around, we advance. We come up with more and more technology. They'll never reach us, ever. They're still with this. Our 12 can take that out. I got 7s that can take that out. So with them, it takes them years to develop this technology. It takes us less than 20 minutes. Blessing from God that transfers to my head, that gives me the knowledge to write down and design anything that I want. Display it on camera and destroy anything in front of it. Naysayers sit there greedy, upset, angry, and bitter. We come to you to buy you to back up your products, and you bow to us. Well, sorry to say it that way. That was wrong. I disrespect on that one. No one bows to us at all. That's wrong. I apologize for that one. We are not gods at the end of the day. We never will be at the end of the day. We are just servants at the end of the day. See what I mean at the end of the day? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I got to fix. Oh, man, it's hard, I tell you. You got to be humble at the same time, but you know you have the technology to design and do this kind of stuff at the end of the day. It's hard. It's hard. It's an ever. For me, I fight my own battles with Satan at the end of the day. I have my own battles. I'm trying. It's hard to not to be arrogant, to not to do this and the other, but we have that technology. We have the ability to do it, and to be humble at the same time. Oh, to be more like Jesus would be such a blessing at the end of the day. You know the power that Jesus had when he came to this planet? All the power he possessed, and he didn't use any of it at all, period. He just used what he needed. That was it. He could have destroyed the earth with the blink of an eye, and all of us would have never existed. But he didn't even do it. Even when people were spitting on him, cursing on him, and treating him like trash at the end of the day, he could have did it. That's what I'm trying to get to. Oh, it's hard. It is. That's why I told you, when the 7 technology we're engineering right now, that stuff is designed. You spray over anything, it'll convert anything. I had to spray over soap and turn that into a projection screen. And I got to teach myself at the end of the day, we already proved ourselves. You don't need to go any farther with this. But then it's a part of me saying, no, we have to go farther. We have to show them. We have to represent. We are better than everyone else. We have to. We have to be better. We can't fail. We have to be better. That's how my brain functions. But we've already passed it. We've already done it. What's the point? We've already done it already. We proved ourselves over and over again. I have these conversations with myself. How many times do I have to prove? How many times do I have to prove? It's not enough. I can basically prove that my technology is #1 in the entire world, and I'll still, in the back of my head, feel like I haven't done nothing. I feel like I haven't been challenged. It's kind of a bit, sometimes it feels like a bit of a nightmare sometimes. Don't eat, don't sleep, constantly work. Because I'm constantly. It's not, I don't do it at the end of the day for you naysayers today. You'll never think that at the end of the day that I do what I do for you. We can take you easy. That's no problem whatsoever. It's me, myself, on trying to basically satisfy what I think is the perfect screen. And that's what I've been chasing. The perfect screen. And the Lord will bless me what we need and what we need to do at the end of the day. But I have to learn at the end of the day, and this is how I keep myself stable, is the basis this. I'm not supposed to be on Sundays, and I know I'm supposed to be on Sunday. I know that myself. Is to keep myself stable and put God first. This is how I keep myself stable, leveled off. Because without God, when I go back and pray to him and say, Lord, I need help. I'm slipping off the edge. I can't stop thinking. I can't stop functioning. I'm driving myself to produce better technology. We can stop it anytime we want to. The 12s were perfectly fine. Any technology we dealt with was perfectly fine. The dedicated Cinemax, perfectly fine. It did everything it was supposed to do. But it's never enough for me. I always have to have better. I need to know. I want that perfect screen. Maybe I'll never find it. Maybe I'll never be satisfied. Well, that's why we have all the demonstrations. It has nothing to do with you guys in the day. We can prove hands down we can take you easily with no problem. That's nothing. It's me at the end of the day. It's drive, that a non-quenching drive to keep perfecting, to keep making it better, keep making it better, keep making it better, keep making it better. And then I go to the relation, like, oh God, we got to go through all the testing all over again. I got to do this all over again. We just did this already. I got to redo the website. We got to do it. Yeah, I put myself through that. The website was done. It was finished. I finished it already. It was done. It had all the dedicated black cinematics. Everything was done. And then I see something that sparks my interest. Like I saw, what brought on the FLE? FLE was brought on by Call of Duty. Literally, that's what brought it on. I saw the video. I was like, oh, shoot. I got to develop a screen paint just for that. Yep, that's what did it. Literally, that's what I developed it. That's how the FLE came in. The gamer screens came in because of the Sugar Plum Fairy, because I designed the screen with a weird name attached to it, and I wanted to design something with a crazy name that could pretty much dominate everything with a weird name attached to it. And that's how the gamer screens got started. So me developing new technology has nothing to do with you naysayers of the day. It's me. It's my endless drive. And right now, as we think, right now, we have an Infinity 7 coming out. And then we have the Omega technology, which I know what's going to be behind that. So I can sit there, and some days I shut my head off and I think, I don't want to develop any more screen paint. I don't want to talk about screen paint. I don't want to think about screen paint or projection screens or nothing. When I get up tomorrow morning, I'm not doing any demonstrations. I'm not doing jack. I'm going to sit there and just stare at a wall. I don't want to be bothered with. I don't want to talk to nobody. That's what I want. And the minute I wake up, boom, here we go again. Oh, we got to do this demonstration. You got to do that demonstration. Let's do this. Let's get this done. So and so and so. It never shuts down. It never shuts off. I like what I do, but it never shuts off. And I get bored in tests. I got to find interesting ways to entertain myself. Now, what I like about the FLE technology, I'm turning trash into projection screens. The 7 technology is coming out under the Infinity 7. We're turning bed sheets into OLED screens. I got to find crazy stuff to do, because if not, you get bored. As a matter of fact, right around the time when they were acting up and carrying on at that facility where we were at, I had already completed everything that I needed to do while I was in there. Did you know that? I was done. That's why I was downstairs. This is certified against my technology, by the way. This is a professional 44, an XFER 44 professional. Taking out certified screens. Color level demonstration. And I've done it already, too many times to count. But when I was in that place, I've already completed that entire building. I was bored when I was in there. The last step we was going to do, that's why I was down at the window. I wasn't doing any more demonstrations upstairs. We've been in every part of that building doing demonstrations. I've literally walked through that whole place. One place I haven't been was the 5th floor. I'm not going up there. But anyway, the rest of the place we've been through. We weren't out up on the 5th floor anyway. We did every place in that entire building. So after a while, I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I got to do? I mean, I was bored with the whole thing. And then we got the glass. We're going to coat it to the glass. And that's when they did that nonsense. And basically, we left the building, which was a good thing for us because that was FLE technology. It would have been coated to that glass. And we wouldn't have been able to get it off. So God worked everything out. Well, it's certified projection screens. See how we do our colors. We do our white levels. We do everything. That's why some of the places I was looking at to work in, I was asking them what time do they close. They closed, like, some places basically I couldn't work in. Like, now I can work in this place and I can go home later. I can go home 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it doesn't make it down. Walk home from here. But the places I was looking at, they were talking about was in places we can work at, but we couldn't be there late at night. And I do a lot of my streams late at night, and I couldn't be there because they closed up around 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock, and the alarm system goes on. So I couldn't be there. I was like, well, I'm not going to pay money for this at the end of the day. And the places I got to do on site, I'm only going to pay it to be like an hour or two, somewhere like a day, depending on what I'm going to be doing that day there. But my next facility I'm working on right now, I'm going to be setting up, it's going to be a showroom and workshop, because that's what I want to do. So I guess I'll be using my credit score to pretty much obtain that, because that's what I'm going to need. Look at that. See that? See that? Those are $5,000, $3,000 certified projection screens, and none of one of them can read a contrast level. They can't see the infinity one. Yep. If I decide to sell out, people, at the end of the day, any one of those companies right there who gets a hold of an FLE technology will now become the superior technology over all the other screens. That's why I said at the end of the day, if I chose to sell out, I can. But where would be the fun in that? Then I couldn't go to the shows, I couldn't disrupt screens, I couldn't cause any ripples in the water, I can't go into any debates and discussions, none of that, and I become boring. And what else would I do? It's funny because this business does drive me crazy, but then again, what would I do? Then again, it's a work creation, and I have to involve projecting or something, because projecting is every part of my life. It really is. It really is. Let me see. Certified screens. Been there and done that with certified. This is all certified. These are all certified. This is all certified. Certified, 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 certified. We've done certified. The only thing I couldn't get my hands on at the time was a diamond. We could not get our hands on a diamond. I got one now. I got a diamond right under my table. Let me see. Let's do it. Projector mapping. Projector mapping. Let me see. Gentlemen, have you done this one yet? Projector mapping. I love this stuff. It's funny, I don't even use my projector mapping that much, which I should, but I don't really use it that much. I got to learn to use it, because I just learned to do the overlay. I think, I forgot about that. Gee whiz Louise, man. See, here's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure out. I got 4 videos to do literally on projector mapping, which I literally forgot to do because I need to download and put that onto the website. Okay, come in and get the, it's late anyway. I got to come in and get the gaming screens resized and do some projector mapping demonstrations for tomorrow. Because I do want to experiment more in that overlay on how to do that. There's projector mapping. And you got motorized projection screens and fixed frame projection screens. Oh yeah, here we go. This is pretty cool. I'll do this last one right here. What the frick are you guys doing? I'm so late, by the way. I'm watching my crazy behind. See, that's projector mapping application. I freaking love it. I do. I've always wanted to do projector mapping. I wish Lifeform didn't go out of business. I really did. It was a good program. I hope they come back. I wish they come back. It's fantastic. For people who never got a chance to experience that field, it is fantastic. Getting your hands on the hardware, good luck on that, because nobody wants to give it up. Because it's virtually impossible to find. And you buy any other projector mapping is extremely expensive. But we're going to do some more in this. Rear projection visual effects. Rear projection, visual effects, Halloween screens, all that good stuff. There you go. That's rear projection visual effects. That's what we're going to do with acoustic screens here. We're going to make them basically rear projection. So you can have your projector behind the back of your screen, have your DJ party, whatever you do, and you can basically have your party and project right behind the back of the screen. Oh, been there, done that on that one. Demonstrations in the snow, demonstration rear projection. Again, there's more FLE technology right there. Rear projection. That's what the TV technology is going to look like when we launch it. Oh, bum, 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 bum. And then we got the 50-inch screens going to be doing. Can't wait to do that. More visual effects. Tabletop projection screens. Now you look at tabletops, they do tabletops as it's a projection screen that fits on top of a table. Ours is a little bit different than that. Ours would be actual table projection screens. Actual table projection screens. See what I mean? Been there and done this stuff already. $60 projector, $80 stand, painted the table, done. Painted the table, done. Painted the table, done. Painted the table, done. It's gonna make me crazy, I swear. It's gonna make me absolutely crazy. That's what I'm gonna do. I've been doing this for so long. Gotta find new ways to entertain myself. Submerged rooms. We got screens wrapped around the ceiling and all that stuff. We got demonstrations on 720p versus 50 lumens demonstrations. You know, that's a 50 lumen projector, and that's the 1080p TV versus a 50 lumen projector. Yeah, I told you. When I mean we've done everything, yeah, we just about done everything. Look at that. So we figured out how to take a silver screen and give it the ability to be able to produce an image right next to a TV, a silver. There's my PlayStation going to 1080p. There's my 50 lumen projector right there. Same projector. We're using our demonstrations right here. When you're thinking about technology 24/7, your brain never shuts off. Every time I walk into a store, all I see is screens. Everywhere I go, I see nothing but screens. That's what I see. We were going through a drive-through parking lot. There's this huge, massive billboard on the side of the wall. They got to make a great screen. I see screens. That's all I see. That's my entire world every single day. Sometimes it's so bad I get headaches. So you know what I do? The VR glasses. I put them on and I drop to the bottom of the ocean and I think about nothing. My brain goes completely blank when I'm down there. Epson projector cost me 90 bucks. Turn the screen to the table right over here. Projection screen hidden right there. Oh yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Even in my screens, I think about screens. You have to be passionate. You have to love what you do. Sometimes the very thing you love what you do will end up almost trying to kill you at the end of the day. That's all I think about. My head hurts right now looking at all this. It hurts because, again, it's just so much work that I had to do. It never ends. It never, ever ends. Because right when I think that I got everything done and I think I finally got the final screen, bam, it comes in and hits. I'm like, guess what? We're designing it down. Like, oh, please, no. I can't do any more stuff, man. I'm doing so much stuff right now. I got my plate is piled enough as it is. I can't do anything else. Now, God will give me the ability to slow it down. That's what he does. I pray and he gives me the chance to slow it down. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this and do this summer. This is why some of the screens are coming out in the summer. I got too much on my plate. I've literally had so much on a website, so much paint that we had to remove some of it because it was just too much. If you wonder why we drop paints and get rid of them, it's because it's too much. The site's coming overcrowded. I got 2 websites running. I'm building my 3rd website now. And then when I build these sites, I don't build normal websites. We got entire showrooms developed, entire environments that we build around this stuff. Somebody's stuck in the ice. Now I'm here doing research on basically what kind of paint sprayers I'm going to give to my customers for free because I want them to have good paint sprayers. I don't want them to have crap at the end of the day. Look at this. We got projection. This is my Japanese tea room. So I decided to convert the room into a Japanese tea room to relax. It was embedded with projection screens. There's my $60 projector. There's my screen right there. That little fountain right there and my pillows and stuff. She got an interior decorating because I kind of like that kind of stuff. See that red? I had the red that they gave me was fire engine red. Like that's really going to work at the end of the day. I had to tint it with some black just to get that nice kind of a burnt red to it that matched nicely with everything. Come downstairs, do a demonstration right off the table. Built a tabletop projection screen for gaming for Pac-Man. That's an actual table I built with speakers and everything installed and all that stuff. So I can play my Pac-Man game. That's actually micro mesh I'm playing through. Pretty cool, ain't it? Yeah, built some crazy stuff. Show how crazy our projection screen technology is. Show you something crazy. Stuck a lamp in the middle of my screen so the light can hit down directly on top of the screen. You ever seen anybody do anything that crazy before? Yeah, we do that stuff. So we got someone saying, well, if we use these projection screens on our tables and we're going to have lights over the top, how do we know the screen's not going to wash out? I'll do you one better. I'll put a lamp right on top of the screen and turn it on while I'm doing the demonstration. And we did. We got the order. This is the kind of crazy measurements that you have to do in order to sell product. You have to do stuff that nobody else wants to do. Everything that everybody else fears, you have to do it. Oh you won't make it. Projector screens in the rain. I saw you and him walking in the rain. You know what happens when screens are in rain? They can become really dark. So the screen becomes damp. It becomes impossible to watch because the screen becomes really, really dark because it's saturated in water. It's probably the reason why every neighborhood I moved in, they probably thought I was crazy because, again, I did weird stuff with this all the time, but you have to do this stuff. You have to be sure that your product works. Gotta be out there in the daytime with your plexiglass and doing your demonstrations with your screen soaked in the rain. Even when it's cold outside and you can feel the cold pushing through your bones and your body aches, you gotta be out there getting it done. You get sick from it, catch a cold from it, you deal with it. Get back up again and do it again. You don't understand sacrifice, gentlemen. I can show you sacrifice. I spent 3 hours showing you all the work that I had to put in to get to this place where I'm at now. So now you see why all the work and everything that I had to do is why I fight so hard for anybody to try to take it from me. I earned that spot to be here. I'll drag you into any courtroom on any face of the planet it takes, whatever. I can back my product 100%. I've done the testing, I have the knowledge, I have the education, I have the know-how, I have the experience. I've been here forever. And you noobs are going to come up to me at the end of the day and try to teach me something. Are you kidding me? I've done stuff that you haven't even begun to even thought of. I challenge myself every single day on everything. No matter how many demonstrations I do, it's never good enough for me. I have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Never good enough for myself. Can't go back and say, hey, Ken, you did a good job. You're done. Like, man, you kidding me? We're not done. We're just getting started. Chandeliers in front of screens. Screens out in the rain, screens out in the snow. Snows are the worst ones to do. They're the worst ones. You come in a house freezing to death doing those. They're freaking, they hurt. The demonstration I did out in the snow, it was cold as I don't know what out there. Now, in the morning, it was much easier because, again, it's a little warmer. But at nighttime, outside in the snow, my feet were frozen, my hands were frozen, everything was frozen. Man, even the surface I had was as stiff as a board I was carrying. I could literally carry that screen in without it bending. It was cold. I did this demonstration. It was cold outside. But what better way to show off a demonstration outside than basically being out in the wintertime when you do it, being out in the snow? Those are the sacrifices that you gentlemen don't know. When I see snow outside, like, oh crap, opportunity to go outside and freeze to death and do demonstrations. When I did the demonstrations with the 250s in the backyard, do you have any idea how many mosquitoes were out there waiting for? I got eaten alive out there when I was doing those demonstrations. Out there, a 250-inch, 180-inch screen, dual 150 inches, it was Mosquito Valley out there. For those of you when I was on the top deck, which was a more safer area to be at me to do demonstrations, when I had the bug whacker out there, somebody thought I was literally using a popcorn machine, but it wasn't. It was that many bugs that were basically popping in that bug whacker. It got to the point that the scent got so bad I had to leave the port. That's how many bugs are down there. That's what I couldn't realize when I first moved over here. I'm like, why does anybody have nothing in their backyard? Like, no one uses any, there's no, like the patios, there's no luxury patios and none of that stuff in none of these backyards at all. Nobody has any luxury patios, nothing. I'm like, why? I mean, these big backyards and no one has no luxury patio furniture back there. Why? I wonder why. I found out why when I put a screen up there and I seen these big bugs flying back and forth. There's mosquitoes out there. When I would go into the house, when I get done doing the video for that short amount of time I was out there, I must have got bit like 20 times easily. Easily got bit 20 times. By the time I get in and put all the furniture, put everything up, take all the cables in, take the projector in, the speakers in, everything from there, man, I have mosquito bites all over me. But you sacrifice for your work. That's what you do. Was outside in the snow. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Outside in the snow. Now after all that work, all that push, all that work we put in, we have FLE technology. Am I happy where I'm at? Yeah, I am. I'm very happy where I'm at. Am I satisfied with my work? I am satisfied. I've been able to conquer the one thing that no one's able to conquer: sunlight. It's one of the hardest tests to do. The ability to be able to conquer sunlight. It's the one thing that plagues screens the worst. And we were able to do it. Now, we had it 3 years ago. Like I said, we already had it already, the technology. But it's not at the point where it's at now. It's much more advanced where we're having it now. The FLE, direct sunlight. This would make this the most powerful game right now on the planet. And I put that, we was on a site for ambient light rejection technology, and the guy was talking, what is FLE? And I said, fusion light energy. Fusion light energy. Because that's what it uses. So, again, as I told about your range gain nonsense at the end of the day, you can call your gain anything you want, as long as you can prove that it does exactly as you claim it does. We have dozens of video demonstrations on this product absorbing sunlight. We have contrast levels, color levels, white levels. We have all different times of the day. Okay, moving 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, so forth, Bob. I had to have all that. So you can call it whatever the freak you want at the end of the day. Heck, you can call it dancing sunflower, coconut blue moon, orange, yellow, and purple donkey. You can call it whatever the freak you want to call it, as long as you can back up exactly what it does. So you can't just go in there and say, I have a range gain, and if I paint the screen in a certain way, it changes the gain. No, 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 no. You can't say that. You have to back it up. That's FLE, fusion light energy. It has the ability to absorb 100,000 lux of direct sunlight. Do we have proof of this? Yes, I do. We have dozens of demonstrations on the technology. We can do it ourselves anytime we want to. It's right there. That's what we posted into the site. Everybody was jaw dropped when they saw that. The very thing that comes through your window that washes out your screen, that you can't use your screens outside because, you know, it's sunlight outside and that may damage your screen and you can't see and your projectors don't work and blah, 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 blah. We can do it there. So with that capability and knowing that we have this ability, that means we coat this software and bid it into any form of screen we design, and that's it. All right, that was a lot. Have I been talking this long? Really? Gee whiz. Oh man, we have been talking this long. Have we not been talking this long? Gee whiz. We have been. Direct sunlight. Direct sunlight. This is for you, Mr. Fernando. The gray screen paint, I made it 11 years ago. 11 years ago, I made your product. Well, not yours, it'd be mine. So technically you would be making my product. Same thing, black and white paint. Pretty much the digital and crystal screen paint was black paint and white paint. And it was a couple of tablespoons here and there, depending on how dark you want to make it. 3 shades, 4 shades, 5 shades, whatever. You put in 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon. That's what's the scale. Anywhere from a scoop, judging from 1 all the way up to around 5. But how we made this one right here, that was made with probably about 2 scoops of black paint. We used mostly, we didn't do the half and half yet because the PPG silver didn't come out yet. And right now, the only person who was running at the time was Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart had that stuff called those Metallica blends or mixtures she had. And we were using that. We would use about a tablespoon of that. And then we would use some of that Christmas glitter, about 1/4 of a spoon. And voila, that's the G1 crystal screen paint. It's the same thing as your product. So again, you was making my product because I was here first. You want to argue that one in court? I have no problem with that. I can show that I was here before you. I can show we had tons of demonstrations. We had beta testers. We had customers galore, more than you had at the end of the day. And on top of that, I was contracted, which means I was here before you. And with that being the case, you're now making my stuff. But the thing about it is that the stuff we have here will match house paint easily. All this stuff will match house paint, every bit of it. That's how we know how to make your stuff. $11 years ago. I was making your product. Well, the product you call yours is actually mine. How do you think I know the tones when I look at it? How do you know I can just guess exactly what can of paint will match it? 11 years ago, we're making that. That's how old your product is. Your product is literally that old. The digital and crystal screen paint product we gave away for free. Is actually launching a couple of sites on how to make it for free. Jamie had a challenge to make it against his own product. Did he do it? No, heck no, he didn't make that stuff. Forget the bear, forget all that stuff in the day. How about you make our digital one and put it against your product? We gave that challenge years ago and you won't do it near it. Because you know why? It is your product. Because we made it first. You've been copying me the whole entire time. The only difference is back then we didn't have the P2 projectors and 4K machines. We had 720p and we had 1080p. That was it. If you had a 1080p, you had some money. Most people had the 720p projectors. So imagine we took that same paint now and we introduced it to the projectors we have today. That's what he's doing. So for all that stuff, we'll match house paint. I have people come to my channel. That's why I said I advise you educate yourself before you speak on my channel. I had somebody come in and say, "Oh, you make this black paint. That's all you know." Man, are you kidding me? I was making gray paint before you even knew me. That's how I know how to make your stuff, because I was making it first. Remember he had the crossbow? Yep. Let's make it long before you. Long before you. So technically you're copying off me. Let's see, digital and crystal screen paint drywall demonstration. You painted on drywall, right? We did that demonstration on drywall 11 years ago. Under digital and crystal screen paint.com. 11 years ago. So any demonstration that you're doing, how your product is amazing on drywall, we did it first 11 years ago. Let's see, gaming demonstrations 11 years ago, movie demonstrations 11 years ago. Let's see, 2.0, 2.6 clear That's the invisible technology we're working on 10 years ago. Here's another one right here. It's a cool one right here. This is actually a form of kind of hologram gaming technology is working on. That's 11 years ago. Painting on vinyl surfaces. Yeah, that was 9 years ago. Outdoor test on weatherproof screen paints, 11 years ago. Everything that you're doing now, Jamie, I did it already, 11 years ago. Demonstrations on transparent technology, again, 9 years ago. Demonstrations on 3D crystal screen paints, 11 years ago. So, you weren't doing any of this stuff. You don't do any of this stuff now. That shows you how old your stuff is. Non-cracking, not peeling demonstration on gray screen paint products, right there, 10 years ago. This is where we painted over a piece of vinyl and crumbled it up on camera to show you that it doesn't crack or peel. Let me see. That's tons of demonstrations. This is when I had the short throw projector right here. The ViewSonic short throw projector. This is where you can do slideshows. Right? Well, you guys do slideshows, but you have to do them a different way now. You have to do them through Facebook first. So, yeah, we did all that stuff already, man. If you're going to sit in the day that your great products are the best of the best, and no, buddy, you're making my stuff because I was doing this before you. You know how far I go back? Xbox 360 Gears of War. You ever seen a demonstration where not only do you paint the screen with the screen paint, but you literally paint the lamp too with it, which I did in the demonstration. I painted the lamp. You don't do demonstrations like that. I was doing crazy stuff on my demonstrations that nobody else would do. So that entire lamp is painted with that coating, and it's turned on right next to the screen. This is the reason why we ended up getting a global contract, because we were doing demonstrations that no one else would do. The same crazy shenanigans that I do now, I was doing them back then. Turned the lamp into a projection screen. See, why you got the little Christmas tree lights splashed around the back of your screen, they don't make any contact with your screen because they're behind the back of your screen. They give it the illusion that you have light in the environment. That's an actual 100-watt light that's actually coated and slammed against my screen, including the light we have in the environment. So my product back then was far better than yours. What else we got? These are all crystal age. Oh, here's one. I got a buddy of mine. We painted a jacket and hoodie and turned him into a projection screen and had him walk in front of the screen. You ever do demonstrations like that? No. They wanted to know if the product was flexible on material. See that same outside the box way of thinking? I was doing that way back when I was making gray screen paint products. I was doing demonstrations that nobody else was doing. So when I see you doing the same demonstration on the same 4K projector over and over again, talking the same dumb nonsense, that's how I know at the end of the day you don't know anything. I was doing stuff that nobody else was doing. Paint clothes, walk in front of screens, take lamps, stick in front of the screens, take 1,000-watt bar lights, stick in front of screens. I was doing all that crazy stuff. That's why I tell you, you're not doing nothing special. And if anybody wants to get there and say, well, you know, you're just hating on, no, you have not doing anything special. See what I'm doing here? We're doing crazy stuff like this 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 9 years ago. That's when we were doing it. Let me see. All right, I'm done. If I go any farther in, we'll be here all day long because we haven't hit D5K, D6K. We haven't hit the gunmetal technology. We haven't hit the beginning of black technology. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even showed you. But as of tomorrow, I ain't even going to have time to show you any of this to begin with because I got to go on that site and I got to do a ton of updates. I got the unicorn stuff to get ready for the ladies. We got a whole lot of stuff we got to do. So I ain't got time to show you that. The archives is there. Knock yourself out. Anything you want to find, anything you want to build. We got stuff on how to build your own projection screen stands for your projectors, customized frames, whatever you want to build, it's on there because we've done it all. Even different forms of paint sprayers, how to clean sprayers, how to modify paint sprayers, all that stuff is all in there. My phone's about to die. Hope you enjoyed. Come on, Taco, we getting out. Hope you enjoyed. We got to go. Thank you all, and God bless. And whatever you want to know.